at 10 for our regularly scheduled newscast with Mary Murphy and Howard Thompson.
Holy cow, what a shot, and that's going gone!
This is New York Yankees baseball, live on the WB Channel 11.
From the Kingdom in Seattle, WPIX Sports presents New York Yankees baseball. Tonight, the Yankees face the Seattle Mariners. The starting pitchers for tonight's game are Ramiro Mendoza making his Major League debut for the Yankees and Edwin Hurtado for the Mariners. Hello, everybody. I'm Bobby Murcer along with Suzyn Waldman. Welcome to New York Yankees baseball here on WPIX. Another very tough night for Scott Kamieniecki as the Seattle Mariners continue their domination here at the Kingdom.
And Scott Kamieniecki, that is 3 bad starts in a row. The last 2 before last night didn't get out of the second inning. Last night did not get out of the 4th inning. Just a terrible night once again for Kamieniecki.
Well, only 3+ innings for Scott Kamieniecki, and it started early. Very frustrated on the mound, Scott Kamieniecki. Well, it was Edgar Martinez who got it started for the Mariners early on in this ball game, scoring Ken Griffey Jr. to take the lead, and the Mariners never relinquished it. But a bright spot for the Yankees was Derek Jeter with his second home run over the left center field wall. And Ken Griffey Jr. not only hit 1 home run, not only 2 home runs in a row, but 3 home runs for the Mariners last night.
Expect a lot better. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, but I expect to have some bad games this year. Everyone does, but to have 3 in a row and to be this bad, you know, it's kind of tough to take right now. But confidence, I need a good game. I'm not going to lie.
Scott Kamieniecki is very frustrated. Joe Torre says all his stuff is there. Everything is high. So obviously something mechanical is very wrong. Tonight's pitcher, Ramiro Mendoza, young 23-year-old Panamanian, 2-1 at Columbus, has a sinker, a slurve, straight change, and he's very aggressive. He likes to keep it down on the ground.
All right, Susan. Rick Cerone had a chance to talk to the pitching coach, Mel Stollivar, about the pitching staff for the Yankees. Here's what he had to say.
Mel, how about a little scouting report on the rookie pitcher tonight, Mendoza?
Well, Rick, he throws 3 pitches. He throws a sinking fastball, a slider or slurve, whichever one you want to call it, and he has a very good changeup, and he mixes his pitches well. And so far, he's kept the ball down very well, and he's been very successful in the organization.
Now, tonight, if he pitches real well, does he stick around? Is Kamieniecki's job in danger?
Well, I don't think I can answer that. We'll have to wait and see how the youngster does tonight and see what it looks like. As far as Kamieniecki, he needs to straighten himself out. There's no question about that. I don't know what it's going to take. We'll work at it, but we got to wait and see how the youngster does tonight.
All right, Mel, thanks a lot. And we'll be right back for starting lineups and first pitch after this.
Ball is brought to you by New Miller Beer, brewed from the heart of the hops for a beer with heart that goes down easy. Reach for what's out there. By the Money Store, where you can refinance your home and consolidate your bills with just 1 phone call. And by Hertz, for business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz, for state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more. Nobody beats the Wiz. Well, the Mariners and the Yankees, this game about ready to get underway with a sellout crowd here at the Kingdom. I mean, there is not a seat available. And Wade Boggs will start it off for the Yankees. Edwin Hurtado on the mound for the Mariners. Hurtado quickly delivers a called strike. Wade Boggs batting .350, check that, .342, 1 home run and 12 RBIs. That pitch up high for a ball, so that'll leave the count up at 1-1.
That's one of the things you're going to have to watch with young Hurtado. He actually should be in AAA. Came over from Toronto last year in the Risley trade. Has a fastball, lacks a lot of movement, has a good slider. That's his best pitch.
That pitch is down low. The count goes to 2-1. Hurtado is a 26-year-old. He's making his 4th Mariner start for Lou Piniella. Wicket hop to Sorrento. He makes the play unassisted, 1 away.
Here are your lineups brought to you by the new Dodge. Same lineup as last night, except for Ruben Sierra. Now is the DH instead of Jimmy Leyritz. Tina Martinez moves up to the 4 spot. For the Mariners, same defense as last night. Dan Wilson in back of the plate. Griffey, of course, in center field.
And the second hitter for the Yankees, Joe Girardi, batting .291, no home runs, 15 RBIs. Strike one to Girardi, one away here in the top of the first inning. Yankees and the Mariners just underway. Pitch foul back and out of play. The last time the Yankees saw Rizzuto was back on May the 15th in New York. He faced the Yankees in relief. He got the win. And making his 4th Mariners start tonight. Not only have the Mariners got problems with their starting pitching right now. That pitch foul back and out of play. Along with the Yankees, Randy Johnson out for the Mariners, Susan. Now Bonzio has been put on the DL.
And when you think about it, Lou Piniella said that now the veteran on this staff is Sterling Hitchcock, and a lot of kids here. And there's Bonzio now, and he's going to be out for quite a while, has some arthritis in his legs now.
Tardo goes up high, misses.
And this is what Piniella's going to watch, because Piniella said that when he's aggressive and pitches inside, then he pitches well. When he starts nitpicking and starts pitching defensively, he's going to get hit.
A slurve from the side, and Girardi is down on strikes. 2 away. A little different position for the arm angle, as Rizzuto does the slider trick on Girardi.
Almost drops down against the right-hander, that slurve action.
So with 2 down, Paul O'Neill will step in, batting .373, 5 home runs, 30 RBIs, second in the American League in hitting, behind Alomar. And that pitch is fouled. Will be a strike one on Paul O'Neill. I mean, this is a loud place, and baseball is alive in Seattle.
And this is Edgar Martinez bat night, sellout crowd. How would you like to be making your major league debut on this night?
That pitch foul back and out of play. Of course, Susan talking about Ramiro Mendoza. As you take a look at the crowd, Mendoza will get a chance to pitch to about 50,000 people here at the Kingdome. And you can see the bat, Edgar Martinez bat night, on the dugout wall. And the count is no balls, 2 strikes with 2 out here in the top of the first 3 innings. Rizzuto misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Paul O'Neill.
O'Neill went 0 for 2 with an RBI last night in the loss to Seattle. Has 23 hits in his last 57 at-bats for a total of 404 in those last 57 ABs.
Sweet Lou Piniella, a new grandfather, too. Rizzuto goes up high and misses. And Sweet Lou Piniella, a favorite, obviously, when he played for the New York Yankees, and still a favorite in New York. He has really turned this franchise around. Last year, enjoying their very best season in baseball here in Seattle. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Paul O'Neill doesn't like it. He'll have a few words with Tashida. The Yankees are gone here at the top of the first. No score. The Mariners coming to bat. For state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more, nobody beats the Wiz. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, 23-year-old Ramiro Mendoza making his major league debut for the Yankees here against the Mariners. And this young man with no major league experience up to this time, he'll be facing Darren Bragg, who leads it off for the Mariners. That pitch is up high. And Suzyn Waldman, you got a chance to talk to somebody that knows a little bit about Mendoza.
Yeah, Jorge Posada, before he got sent down yesterday, was talking about Mendoza. He caught him in Columbus. And that's what you want him to do. That's exactly what he's going to do.
Followed by Duncan, and that will be an error. So Mendoza gets Darren Bragg to hit it on the ground to the right side, but Duncan was unable to come up with it.
Batting second, shortstop, number 3, Alex Rodriguez.
And you can see on this artificial surface, Duncan was unable to get in front of it. He had tried to backhand it, and Bragg, with pretty good speed, beats the throw. So the Mariners have their first base runner here at the bottom of the first inning, no score. That'll bring up Alex Rodriguez. And what a year this young man is having already. Batting .347, 8 home runs, and 34 RBIs for Lou Piniella and the Mariners. That pitch over for a called strike. Alex Rodriguez, talking to Lou Piniella last year, he already said that this young man was going to start and play for the Mariners for a long, long time in 1996, and that was in 1995 that he was talking about Rodriguez. That pitch inside for a ball. That'll leave the count up at 1-1.
Rodriguez went to spring training this year, Bobby, and Lou said that he walked up to him and he said, "Lou, I'm ready." And Lou said, "I know you are, kid." Moved him into the second spot so that he hits in front of those big 3, 4, 5 hitters, gets a lot of fastballs now, and really is having a tremendous year. He has all the tools. He's going to be a big star in this league.
Outside corner, strike 2, 1-2 now on Rodriguez. And you talk about shortstops. We've got a lot of good-looking shortstops in the major leagues today. Not only with Rodriguez, the Yankees have Derek Jeter at short, and over with the Mets,
Ray Ordonez. One of the things that you talk about Derek Jeter, you almost forget that he's a rookie. He is the Yankee shortstop.
high chopper to Martinez. His only play is at first base, so Bragg will move down to second. One away, and that'll give Junior a chance to bat with a runner in scoring position. Well, this ought to be an interesting confrontation. Let's take a look at Junior's home run last night. He had a big night last night. He was 4 for 4. This is his third in a row. And now Junior with 15 home runs on the year. And a lot of people will not argue about the fact that they think that Junior is probably the best all-around baseball in the major leagues today. And I cannot disagree with it.
When you think that Junior's still playing with that plate in his wrist, and the wrist is not 100%, this is just amazing.
So Mendoza delivers the ball outside. Now first base is open. We'll see how Mendoza or Girardi wants to pitch Junior with Edgar Martinez on deck. Bragg down at second, one away. This kid has a lot of heart. You take a look at Bragg. You could tell it from the very beginning when you knew Junior, when he was only about 8 or 9 years old, messing around and playing around at Yankee Stadium, that he had all the ability in the world, as an athlete should have, to be the kind of player that he is. But beyond that, his personality. His personality is something that not only is he a great player, but he's got that great personality. He gets along with people. He loves baseball. He loves the kids. And it really comes out quite frequently with this young man. He loves to play those games, the Nintendo games and whatever.
Always has a twinkle in his eye.
Just a kid at heart.
Always has time for you. Just a tremendous ambassador for this game.
And the Mariners signed him to $34 million. Multi-year contract. So they believe in him. That's up high for a ball.
You're talking yesterday, Griffey. Amazing to think that he's been in the league for 7 years already and still so young. Two pitch is pulled foul. Nice play by the ball girl down the right field line, and she gets a big hand from this sellout crowd. I mean, that was a pretty good backhand. If Mariano Duncan had made that play, Bragg wouldn't be on his second base. There it is. Here's a little backhand stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty good. Very nice.
Darn
Set her
good.
up for the silver bullet.
Popped him up, shallow center field. And Rivera has it, 2 away. So
Here are the lineups brought to you by the new Dodge. Darren Bragg, as I said, led off. Rodriguez followed by Griffey, Martinez, then Buhner, Paul Sorrento, who pick up this year. Dan Wilson, Joey Cora, and our old buddy Russell Davis. Here's the defense set, same as last night. Rivera still out in center field. Bernie Williams will probably be back tomorrow. Gerald over in left. Girardi behind the plate. With
2 away, Mendoza will face Edgar Martinez. Martinez batting .347, 10 home runs, 39 RBIs. Leads the league in doubles. That's nothing new. That pitch in there for a called strike.
Mendoza has a kind of delivery, that free and easy delivery that Mariano Rivera has. That's kind of sneaky fastball. Looks very loose out there. They like his arm a lot. Posada said that he's not afraid of anything, this kid.
So far, he doesn't seem to be intimidated by this Mariner lineup. And another good pitch on the outside corner, 0-2. And Teixeira right now is very lenient with that strike zone, it appears. And Edgar Martinez says, now wait a minute.
And you never see him argue. You never see Edgar Martinez argue.
I'm not sure he argued then. He just kind of looked around like he wanted to argue. Anyway, it's 0-2 to Martinez. And the breaking ball misses outside, 1-2. So Ramiro Mendoza, a young 23-year-old, making his major league debut for the Yankees tonight. And the Yankees, who started the season with one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball. Strike 3 as he stuns Edgar Martinez to end the inning here in the bottom of the first inning. The Mariners leave one on. We've played one and no score. Well, it's brought to you by the new Dodge. See your local Dodge dealer today. Well, we go to the top of the second inning here at the Kingdome, and Tino Martinez will lead it off for the Yankees. Strike 1 to Martinez. Now, something unusual tonight that didn't happen last night, a lot of strikes being thrown by the pitchers.
Absolutely, and we weren't used to this last night. Tino Martinez still very popular here. Signs all over the place, Bobby. You missed that. A welcome home, Tino. Somebody actually thanking him for coming for her birthday. Very popular young man here still.
Well, he had some great years here in Seattle, and obviously it's got to be a little bit. He's got to be a little bit nervous coming back playing. He said it was well hit and past Rodriguez in the left field for the first hit for the Yankees. But Martinez said it was a little bit a funny feeling having to go in on the other side for the visitors' dress. But he is acclimated to it now and delivers the first hit for the Yankees in this ballgame.
And that's what hitting coach Chris Chambliss has been trying to get Tino to do, to go the other way. You saw that once again, head down, going the other way so he doesn't pull everything. On the other bench yesterday, Russell Davis sitting there. He was sitting looking forlornly into the Yankee dugout, as Tino was sitting on the Yankee dugout looking forlornly into the Seattle dugout.
And Ruben Sierra, the designated hitter. Pitardo misses down low. Sierra batting .267, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs.
Ruben didn't play yesterday, was 2 for 3 on Thursday, and he's 5 for his last 10.
Good stop by Dan Wilson behind home plate. So the count in the favor of Ruben Sierra. Mariano Duncan on deck for the Yankees. Ruben needs to drive in runs if the Yankees are going to win. He is batting in that RBI slot. When Ruben goes bad, that pitch is down low. He really goes bad. He's not the kind of hitter that will make that adjustment at the plate. He has only one swing.
All his home runs this year, and there are 6 of them, all from that left side. He's still having trouble, Bobby, getting used to those contact lenses. He has blurred vision in one eye, and he's having a lot of trouble seeing the ball.
What eye is that?
That would be the right eye.
That's down low, ball 4, so the Yankees have their first 2 runners on here in the second inning. The right eye?
The right eye.
So that would be the
eye.
dominant eye, right? Front eye from the left side.
And this is what Piniella does not want from Hurtado, not to throw strikes, because he starts to nitpick, doesn't get aggressive, timid. This is a big spot for him. Really should spend the year in AAA, as a lot of loose pitchers should. They're all very young. He says he's got the youngest team now in the American League. And when you've got Sterling Hitchcock as your veteran here, they're all pretty young.
So Hurtado now has worked himself into a jam here early on. Mariano Duncan batting .352, 1 home run, 15 RBIs. Tries to go the opposite way and fouls it back and out of play. So It's 0-1 to Duncan. Duncan last night 2 for 4 with a double. That'll wake the Yankee bench up. That's Chris Chambliss along with Don Zimmer on the Yankee bench. Mariano, since coming back off the disabled list, 2 for 8. Well, stroked into left center field, and it gets by the left fielder Bragg. 1 run will score. They're going to wave around Sierra. He comes on to score, and the Yankees take a 2-0 lead.
And that was a high pitch from Hurtado. You could see it all the way, and Duncan just went up and got it. And he is really not throwing strikes. This is a big hit for Duncan because he was being very frustrated coming back. He had gotten into such a good swing before he had gotten hurt and was very frustrated going on the DL. So this is a big knock for him.
And the Yankees had really missed the bat of Mariano Duncan, as you mentioned. But he delivers here. You said it was up in the strike zone, and it was a linea into left center field, and Bragg tried to get over, but it's off of his glove and goes far enough for 2 runs to score. The Yankees take that 2-0 lead. Now Gerald Williams steps in. And Gerald, trying to move the runner to the third base side, goes the opposite way but fouls it out of play.
Gerald is an amazing story this year. 1 for 2 last night, 21 for his last 55, batting .382 in those 55 ABs.
And has an average of .347, 5 home runs, and 20 RBIs for the Yankees.
And all he said was, give me a chance to play.
And Gerald thinking about maybe bunting the ball to the right side to move Duncan up to third with less than 2 outs. The ball is down low. There you see Duncan. So Gerald always thinking, trying to do the fundamental things. And he goes the opposite way. Base hit for Gerald Williams. And they're going to have to hold Duncan up at third. The ball was lined, and Duncan had to hold on just a second to make sure nobody caught it. And look what Gerald Williams continues to do.
And that is something that you would never see Gerald do last year, going the opposite way. That is something that Chris Chambliss has worked on day after day. He would usually lunge at those pitches and overswing and try and pull everything. Here it is. It's on the outside part of the plate. Gerald just goes right with it. That is something that Chris Chambliss has worked with him day after day.
You can't say enough about a player who knows what to do when he comes to the plate. He had nothing but his idea of going to right field with Duncan down at second with nobody away. Now Ruben Rivera gets a chance to hit. That pitch is up high for a ball. Still nobody out here in the top of the second inning. The Yankees lead it 2-0. Men at first and third, so Rivera gets a chance to drive in a run.
Ruben in his third game was 1 for 3 last night. His third start. He's been hit in each game. First game and second game.
Well hit into left field. Another base hit for the Yankees. Duncan comes on to score, and they now lead it 3-0. And now the capacity crowd here at the Kingdom with a few boos for Hurtado. And quickly now the Mariner bullpen begins to get busy.
Ruben Rivera having a tremendous debut here in the last 3 games. Hit in every game. He's got bruises on his shin and on his wrist now from being hit.
And Derek Jeter, the 9th batter for the Yankees, will bat. Still nobody out. There goes the runner, Gerald Williams. The throw down is not in time. What a stride by Gerald Williams as he slid away from the tag of Russ Davis at third. And also moving to second is Ruben Rivera.
Throw by Wilson down and gets right around there. Nice slide by Rivera there, and Russell Davis just misses the tie, tried to backhand it, and Ruben just gets right around it.
Could have been
Gerald,
pretty dangerous for Gerald sliding. He almost got his ankle caught on the back of the bag. But he's all right. Now the Yankees have runners at second and third. Still nobody out, so Lou will bring the infield in. And the pitch is outside for a ball, so that'll leave the count up at 1-1. Jeter, a .279 hitter. He hit his second home run last night for the Yankees. He has 19 RBIs and a chance to drive in some more right here. That pitch up high and foul back and out of play. So Hurtado is in trouble as Joe Torre looks on. The Yankees have already scored 3. Still nobody out here in the second. Infield is in for the Mariners. And the breaking ball foul back and out of play. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeter. Well, Lou Piniella now is the winningest pitcher in Mariner history. Check that he thought he'd like to pitch.
Today.
Right now, the winningest manager in Mariner history. High fastball up and in on Jeter. So the count is 2-2.
Now this brings up an interesting fact here. Solomon Torres, who's up in the bullpen, was supposed to pitch tomorrow. I thought that was why they brought him up. So now Lou's going to have more problems tomorrow.
Well, I think that they have undecided.
He was
on
supposed
their
to be
roster for tomorrow.
undecided.
And I think it's going to be a guy by the name of Menhart. Yeah.
Menhart came over with Hurtado for Risley. He's also been down in AAA. They came over in the same deal.
So Lou has got them pitching back-to-back, Hurtado tonight and Menhart tomorrow. We've had a lot of undecided on the list for starting pitchers, both by the Yankees and for the Seattle Mariners. High fly ball. This should be deep enough to score Williams from third. Both runners tag. And Buhner's throw will come into second base as Williams comes on to score. It's 4-0. Rivera moves to third. And the Yankees have built a sizable lead early on here in the top of the second, 4-0.
And doing it with the bottom of the batting order, which is always very nice to see. Duncan getting back in the swing, and then Ruben Rivera, that's a tremendous debut for him. And then, of course, Derek Jeter. Piniella looks on. I wanted to ask you, Bobby, because of all of the conversation about Ruben Rivera, how much pressure is that? This kid is now being touted as the next Mickey Mantle. You know what that's all about. He's only 22 years old.
Oh, I think he's just happy to be out there, and he doesn't read the paper. Wade Boggs delivers one high and deep into center field. Junior backs up. Rivera tags. There won't be any throw. Rivera can motor, and the Yankees now lead it 5-0. And a player, when you come, a hitter, when you come to the plate like that, and you know you've got that right-hander out there that's struggling, you look for a ball up in the strike zone that you can at least deliver high enough and far enough into the outfield to score that runner if you don't get a base hit. And Girardi bats with 2 away and fouls this one out of play.
And like Kamenicki last night, Hurtado is up with just about everything. Yankees looking for that high pitch and just blasting it.
Fastball misses outside. Well, it's the old same story that you hear all the time. Pitching, pitching, pitching. And most of the pitchers, the problems that they have is that they don't throw strikes. It's almost unbelievable when you see these major league pitchers and they can't find the strike zone.
And if you talk to Piniella about his staff, Hurtado actually should be in AAA. They brought him right from AA to the majors last year in Toronto. Menhart the same way. Torres the same way. They're not getting enough experience, so they're here and they're not ready.
Look at him at strike 3, so Girardi strikes out, but the Yankees do damage here in the second inning. They score 5. At the end of an inning and a half, the Yankees lead it 5-0. Brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz for state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more. Nobody beats the Wiz. Back at the Kingdome, bottom of the second inning, the Yankees lead it 5-0.
It's Bobby Quay, our pitching coach, talking to Edwin Hurtado.
Obviously, that's a private conversation.
I guess so.
And obviously, Hurtado is not happy that the Yankees in that 5-0 lead. Jay Buhner leads it off for the Mariners against a rookie on the other side. Ramiro Mendoza making his Major League debut for the Yankees.
And obviously feeling a lot better now that he's got that 5-run lead. Really, he really pitches almost just like Mariano Rivera, that sneaky fastball, that very loose delivery.
Off-speed breaking ball. Nice play by Jeter. Can he throw him out? He does. Major League play by Derek Jeter at shortstop. One away.
One of those plays that people thought maybe Jeter could not make. Talked about his range and his arm. Goes over towards second base. Great diving stab. Gets it up, sets himself, and throws a nice peg to Tino Martinez. A lot of question on whether he could make that play. He's done it routinely so far this year.
No question on that play. One away at Paul Sorrento. The one thing I like about Mendoza so far is that he's throwing strikes. That pitch is down low to Sorrento, batting .286, 10 home runs, 26 RBIs. Normally, you know, a young man who's 23 years old is called up all of a sudden, and next thing you know, he's pitching against a capacity crowd. Easy play for Martinez, 2 away, and he doesn't seem to be phased by it. He's just calm, cool, and collected out there throwing strikes.
I asked Posada last night, I said, is he going to know what's going to happen? He said he won't even know who he's facing. He isn't going to care. He's very aggressive. He just wants to be out there and show the Yankees that he can pitch. And so far he's done just that, very aggressive. And what I like about him is he'll throw any pitch at any point in the count. So he's very sure of himself.
Well, the Major League Yankee coaching staff knows very little about Mendoza until tonight. They're going to get an eyeful, so they're going to be watching him very closely as Dan Wilson comes to the plate.
And if he does well tonight, and so far he's on his way, he's going to stick around. He's not going anywhere. Joe Torre said before the game that if he does well, or if we like his stuff, we just might keep him here.
Good lively fastball, just missing outside. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Dan Wilson, the catcher, batting .270, 9 home runs, 31 RBIs. Joe Torre's got to like what he's seen so far. Off the end of the bat, and another easy play for Martinez. And the Mariners go 1, 2, 3, and Mendoza has been pretty good so far. We've gone 2 innings here at the Kingdome, and the Yankees lead it 5-0. Express road notes. And the Yankees' road record is not that good, 8-10 so far. They'll move down after tomorrow night to Anaheim to face the Angels, and then back up to Oakland as they finish out this road trip. Check that, they'll go to Oakland and then to Anaheim.
And then Anaheim. No, Anaheim next. Anaheim
next.
Oh, is it
Anaheim next? Okay. Trust me, as Paul O'Neill steps in, the Yankees lead it 5-0. Paul O'Neill struck out his first time up. That pitch fouled back and out of play. Hurtado, who has started, making his 5th start for the Mariners. And Paulie batting .371 now, still 2nd in the American League. As far as his batting average is concerned, that pitch is up high. The Yankees struck for 5 runs in the top of the 2nd. Bobby Murcer along with Suzyn Waldman. Rick Cerone will be along a little bit later on. Big swing and a miss. Looked like Paulie was headed towards the outfield wall. Well, that swing, but he swung so hard he took his head off of it.
There's Hurtado's pitch on the inside part of the plate. O'Neill was looking for that wall, but the ball wasn't there. He swung at that pitch the first time up, too.
Fastball misses high and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to O'Neill. On deck is Tino Martinez, followed by Ruben Sierra. Three and 2 now to O'Neill. The Mariners, with their domination over the Yankees, especially in the last couple of years, they've won 10 out of 11 here at the Kingdome against the Yankees. That includes the playoffs. And with the Yankees and the Mariners last year in the playoffs, I think that had what has really set this city aside as far as baseball and their enthusiasm for it. They are drawing, in fact, in this series here. You see the banner that they put up into center field. 1995 American West champions. Milestone for the Mariners as O'Neill takes ball 4 up high.
And Piniella will tell you that that playoff series, they think, saved baseball in this city. This is their 5th sellout of the year. This year, there are about 20,000 attendance ahead of where they were in every game. It's tremendous. It's really turned into a baseball town.
Plus they went ahead and signed Ken Griffey Jr. to a long-term contract, so that's a commitment from the organization. They had to let Tino Martinez go. But you can't do everything. They also have Alex Rodriguez. They got Dan Wilson. They got Russ Davis. They got Buhner in the outfield. They got Randy Johnson. They've got a lot of core players here.
And of course, picking up Paul Sorrento to replace Tino Martinez was a very good move by the Mariners. You got a youngster, obviously Russell Davis, at third, and he's going to develop. And they got a young pitcher.
Well, Bobby Cuellar will make that slow walk to the pitcher's mound. Activity in the Mariner bullpen. Solomon Torres warming up for the Mariners.
Solomon Torres is a real enigma, has tremendous talent, but is very, very erratic. His heart and desire has been questioned by the Giants organization, but he's got all the talent in the world. Another player, however, who was rushed into the major leagues by the Giant organization. Just couldn't handle it.
Well, Cuellar had a conversation with Hurtado on the bench in between innings, and a long private conversation, so maybe that didn't work when he walked Paul O'Neill, so he decided to go to the mound and have another one. And Tino will take the pitch down low for a ball.
Well, the problem with this Mariners staff also, Bobby, is in that long road trip that they just had to the East Coast. They had 8 games where their starters didn't get out of the 4th inning, and a bullpen can only take so much. So you don't want to take them out too early if you can help it.
Strike 1-1-1 now to Martinez. I think it was Hitchcock who went 7 innings, and that was a milestone.
That was absolutely
when you talk
right.
to Lou, he said that's a milestone for our pitching staff. He says, you know, I'm a much better manager when Randy Johnson's not on the DL and he's out pitching. Outside corner, strike 2, 1-2.
There's Sterling sitting there on the bench from last night's victory. Pitched very well last night. Pitched into the 7th inning, and he's doing very well. Scuffled a little bit, as he said, the last 2 starts, but pitched very well last night. Yankees actually had him on the ropes a couple times, but couldn't get to him.
Foul back out of play. It looks like Sterling is using the same razor that Jay Buhner is using.
And Chris Bosio.
And Bosio.
Say Will Victor.
Let's see, who's that? That's Bosio. Is that Hitchcock? That's Sterling. They got these new dews around their face now. It's hard to tell. Down low, ball 3, 3-2. So we'll see if Paul O'Neill takes off for this pitch. The Yankees lead at 5-0. Nobody out here in the top of the 3rd. On deck is Ruben Sierra. They're not holding O'Neill on. The runner goes. The pitch is pulled foul. And another nice play by the ball girl down the right field line. I'm telling you, let's sign her up. I mean, she's got some hands, some soft hands. I don't know if she's just happy that people are clapping or if she just can't believe that she caught it.
Great stab, and I think she's more nervous than anybody.
Look at that backhanded play.
Yeah. Turns around almost a 360.
Bless her heart. It
wow.
hurt. Oh, okay.
You got to put a little padding in that glove. A little sponge.
When you make a nice play like that, the pain will go away a lot quicker.
Her name is Lindsay, we've just been told. Thank you very much, Bob.
Now Sorrento tried to put the tag on O'Neill. Runner goes once again, and the pitch is popped up and a shallow left field. Should be an easy play for Pratt. One away. O'Neill returns to first, and I'll bring up Ruben Sierra.
Designated hitter, number 25, Ruben Sierra.
Well, whether you pop the ball up or not to the left field side, you see that Tino Martinez is consciously thinking about keeping that right shoulder in and going to the opposite way. He knows that if they throw it inside, he can pull it. He demonstrated that when he pulled the ball foul. And he's a little bit frustrated because when you pop it up like that, that means you get out just a little bit too soon in front of the pitch, and you just kind of have to lift it up into the air. Could be a double play. Rodriguez for one, back to Sorrento. 4-6-3 double play. Hurtado and the Mariners got out of this jam here in the third. We played 2.5 here at the Kingdome, and the Yankees lead it 5-0. You buy Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good. And we've got a few of those guys at the ballpark here tonight. And we go to the bottom of the third inning. That's Junior. He hit 3 in a row last night. He had a chance to tie the record back in the first inning. He flied out to center field. This is Joey Cora batting against Mendoza, the young rookie making his major league debut. And Joey Cora with a count, 2 balls, no strikes to him. Cora taking all away. That pitch is in there. 2 balls and a strike now to Cora. Russ Davis on deck, and then Darren Bragg. Yankees lead it 5-0 here at the bottom of the third. That's a pull foul. Let's see if Lindsay can make a play. Well, she couldn't get the glove down on that one, but that was a nice effort. She's made 2 great plays this evening. She's quick like a cat, too. She gets down to that ball on this artificial surface. She just didn't have a chance for that one. I'm impressed.
I can tell that.
I'm ready to sign her up. Off the end of the bat, Mendoza will throw out Cora, 1 away. Ramiro Mendoza, 6'2", 154 pounds. He's a tall, lean kid, only 23 years old. Comes from Los Santos, Panama. In fact, the Yankees have pride of Panama. They've got an addition of Mendoza. The Yankees now have 3 natives out of Panama.
That's right, and of course, Ruben and Mariano Rivera, first cousins, and they do know him from Panama.
And the pitch on the outside corner for a call strike. Russ Davis batting .246. 4 home runs and 15 RBIs.
If you look at Mendoza's last couple of outings, I was just looking at the outing against Syracuse, 8 in the third innings, 8 hits, only 3 runs.
And Russ Davis delivers the first hit for the Mariners here in the third.
Trying to get Russell Davis to use those wrists a lot, to go more to center and not pull everything towards that left side. Here's Mendoza's pitch to Russell Davis.
Talks about that fluid motion.
Great motion. Great motion. Very sneaky fast. It doesn't look like the ball's coming over, but then whips it around at the last minute.
So the Mariners with their first base runner in Russ Davis, 1 away here in the third. That'll bring up Darren Bragg, who reached base on an error back in the first inning. This could be 2. Duncan to Jeter for 1. Back to Martinez, not in time. Bragg can get down the line. They do get the lead run. No, lead runner. So 2 away. And that'll bring up Alex Rodriguez.
Here's the pitch, and Bragg takes it to the right side. Bragg is a very smart player. Throw a little late there. Darren Bragg, as Bobby said, is a very good base runner, gets down that line very fast. Looked like Mariano had to make a very sharp turn there to turn around to get the ball to Jeter.
So Alex Rodriguez will step in. Rodriguez 0 for 1. Bragg takes off. That ball is blasted by Boggs down the left field line. Bragg will come around third. He will score, and it's a 5-1 game in favor of the Yankees. I mean, that ball was nailed. Boggs had no chance to get his glove down.
That quick wrist of Alex Rodriguez, and you can see that's one of his best attributes. He can turn on that ball in a hurry. Really smashed it. Here's the pitch, up and inside, and he just turns on it, smashes it. Boggs had no shot at that one.
So give Darren Bragg a big hand, because he hustled down the line to stay out of that double play. And Alex Rodriguez delivers him home. And that'll bring up junior, Ken Griffey Jr., who is 0 for 1. And that's a strike call on the inside corner.
You know, you like to see that from a young kid. Went right inside, threw him a nice aggressive strike after getting in a little trouble here. And it is Ken Griffey Jr.
Now backing out of play. Now Mendoza will work in front of Junior. 0-2. As I mentioned, he had 3 consecutive home runs last night. He had a chance to tie the record, which is 4. But he flied out in the first inning. And Junior sometimes, you know, when he takes a bad swing, you almost think that his hand is hurting. Or he broke his hand, his wrist, and had that plate in there. It since has been removed, I understand. Good pitch by Mendoza. Did you see the break on that ball? It started on the inside part and broke over the middle. And Mendoza has struck out a tough hitter in Ken Griffey. His second strikeout. We've played 3 at the Kingdome. The Yankees lead it 5-1.
It is the top of the 4th inning. 5-1 Yankees. Joining me right now, Rick Cerone. This is impressive. This kid has been impressive, hasn't he?
I like it. I like it. He's not scared of anything. He's going right after the big Seattle hitters.
Mariano Duncan gets the ball, goes by Russell Davis at third base. Mariano on his way to second base. Here comes the throw from Bragg, and Mariano is in with a double to lead off the top of the 4th inning. I didn't think we'd have Hurtado still around here in the in this inning.
Nice to see Mariano back in the swing. Gets a high changeup, it looks like, because he's way out in front, able to drive the ball past the third baseman Davis. Second double tonight. It's nice to see Mariano. They needed that bat in the lineup.
Now, how long does it take a guy to come back? He was very frustrated when he was, 0 for 4 his first night coming up back off the DL. How long does it take to get your timing back?
Well, you could take batting practice as much as you want, hit off a tee. Nothing like the real thing in the game when they're tricking you, trying to change speeds. But he's a professional hitter.
Gerald Williams up now, single to right in the 2nd inning. Liner back to Hurtado. He makes the play. Duncan stays at second base, and there's 1 out here. Hurtado seems to be throwing strikes now, which he didn't do in the first 3 innings, at least these first 2 batters. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by the incredible I-30 from Infinity. More flagship styling, space, and performance than you'd ever expect. Ruben Rivera up now against Edwin Hurtado. RBI single for young Ruben in the 2nd inning, part of that 5-run rally.
4
he takes
RBIs.
a strike.
Yeah, 4 RBIs in his first 3 ball games with the Yankees. You know,
he's been hit by 2 pitchers.
because he takes such a good swing at the ball. Pitchers are going to say, hey, we're going to loosen this guy up a little bit. He's got some life in his bat.
Swing and a miss for strike 2 for Ruben Rivera. You know, his big mentor, you know, who called him before his first game, Reggie Jackson called. Said, relax, just have a good time there.
Now, this is why you get some balls thrown at you. Look, I mean, he lets it air out. I'll tell you, what a body. If you talk about a major league body, this is it.
Outside for a ball, 1-2 to Ruben Rivera. I tell you, though, that the idea of everybody talking about the next Mickey Mantle makes me very nervous. Yeah. He's 22 years old.
22, he's got a big future ahead. The only thing I've noticed, looks like he tries to peek once in a while. See right there, just when the catcher starts to set up, he takes a little glance back at the catcher.
Pops it up, foul off to the side. Sereno going over. Isn't going to get that one. 1-2 the count to Ruben Rivera.
You know, he's been hit twice, and sometimes it goes around. Hey, stop looking back here. Stop peeking.
I was going to ask you
because
that.
I've noticed the last 2 ball games, he does take a little glance back there after the catcher sets up. And I mean, everybody can see it.
Ruben's already there as an outfielder, terrific center fielder, has all the tools, has speed, power, just got to put it all together. 1-2 pitch, outside and down low, 2-2 the count.
I heard you and Bobby talking, excuse me, I heard you and Bobby talking about more younger players in the big leagues now. Younger pitchers, Ruben Rivera, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez. They're learning and they're coaching more on the big league level nowadays. Coaching staffs are designed that way to handle the younger players.
2-2 the count to Rivera. Mariano Duncan at second base. Outside, 3-2, so he's worked the count full. Let's take a look there. Let's see if we can watch him kicking back.
Just watch those eyes. Watch the eyes. You don't have to. See, now he's already set. He's not going to be pinky.
3-2 count from Hurtado. Ruben sets. Ball 4. Very patient for Rivera. They said that he didn't walk a lot down in Columbus. He really seems to be really together up here. I'm not expecting at all what I've seen so far. He's not swinging at bad breaking pitches, and he's not swinging at pitches that he shouldn't.
I think Lou's had about enough now. He wants his catcher, Dan Wilson, to go out. Lou, I tell you, he's different the way he handles his pitching staff. Last night, I mean, they had a 10-3 lead, hits a batter, Bob Wells I'm talking about, walks two batter, walks in a run. Lou just runs to the mound and, you know, a little bit different.
We saw what he said. What the bleep are you doing, I think, was what the translation was.
And 3 pitches later, the ball game's over.
Cuellar out again to talk to Hurtado. Now, Lou's had to be very patient. He understands that this is a very young team. There's only so much that you can do. So you've got to pull back a little, and that'll be all for Hurtado.
That's a little different. Usually the manager will go out to the mound to take the pitcher out of the ball game, but Pinella's been bothered by a bad back. And he hasn't had it checked out yet. He's been laid up with a bad back. He says he can't play any golf.
Okay, we'll be back to the Kingdome right after this. Is 5-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning. New pitcher, that would be Solomon Torres. Youngster has 2 power pitches, a fastball and a slider. Of course, I am along with Rick Cerone. Derek Jeter at the plate. Solomon Torres just throws hard. He was 3-4 at Tacoma, 6.96 ERA. Doesn't mix his pitches very well. He's got a great talent, and as we were talking about before, his desire has been questioned, and he doesn't have a lot of discipline, is very, very erratic, can walk an entire ballpark. There's a strike to Jeter. 1-1 the count. There's Hurtado. Didn't want that kind of start. He's been back and forth a couple of times for Lou Piniella. There's outside Derek Jeter. 1-2 the count. Duncan at second base. Ruben Rivera at first with a walk. Jeter hit a sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning for an RBI. Score 5-1 here. The Yankees have 5 hits. Fastball slider, that's all you're going to see out of this kid. Foul ball out of play into the stands.
Yeah, very similar situation, Susan, in the 2nd inning. The Yankees pulled off the double steal with Jeter hitting with nobody out. I mean, the Yankees are playing a whole different brand of baseball. They're not the big boppers like we remember them. They beat you with the singles. They steal some bases. They've stolen 33 out of 45 attempts in stolen bases. Very high success rate.
A lot of singles you're seeing. Here he goes the opposite way. That's going to be a foul ball. But what you like to see out of Jeter, and I noticed this a lot, as with a lot of the hitters, as with Gerald Williams also, going to the opposite field, not trying to pull everything. There's Zimmer and Torrey on the bench. That's what you like to see from a young team. You like to see the hitting coach working with them to get them to go use all parts of the field.
Well, just think about the defense, too. It's a lot tougher to defend the players if you're spraying the ball all around. If you're willing to steal bases, it's harder to manage against that team.
1-2 count to Jeter. That's outside. Jeter almost falling over trying to stop going on that one. See, this is the problem with Solomon Torres. He will walk you every time. Tremendous stuff. He's throwing very hard. Just has very little control, very erratic, and that gum in Lou's mouth is getting more and more.
He's working it over. Now he's trying to work over Tim Tashita, the home plate umpire. Call him both ways. 2-2
the count. And that's outside. 3-2, he's worked the count full.
And you would think with Jeter, the hitters, Torrey will put the runners in motion. You're winning 5-1. Get those infielders moving around, opens up some holes for the hitter, and you stay out of the double play.
Duncan at second, Ruben Rivera at first, Derek Jeter at the plate. 1 out here, 5-1 Yankees, top of the 4th. We're in motion. Russell Davis gets the tag down, and Duncan is out. So a strikeout, and then a double play on the stolen base attempt. The Yankees go down, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 5-1. Going to the bottom of the 4th. Mazda, experienced cars and trucks built with a passion for the road. We're back at the Kingdome. Edgar Martinez up against Ramiro Mendoza. Outside, ball 1. Edgar struck out looking in the first inning. A little look back there in that first inning strikeout. Wasn't too pleased with that call. 1-0 the count. Outside for ball 2. All right, you're the catcher in this situation. Your pitcher you've never met, you've never seen, he doesn't speak English. He starts getting a little wild here. What do you do?
Tell Mariano Duncan to help you out. Hey, help me out, please. Well, we talked about that prior to the ball game, and this situation comes up an awful lot because a lot of players go to play winter baseball, where you go down to Venezuela, Dominican Republic. You have to work and try to speak. The universal language are the signs, though. 1, 2, 3, and wiggle.
There's a ground ball over to Duncan. Duncan over to Martinez for the first out. Here's this month's Mazda fan speak-out question. Which player, not in the Hall of Fame, most deserves induction? Send your replies to the fan speaks out, WPIX TV, 220 East 42nd Street, New York, New York, 10017. Want to take a shot at that one?
Pete Rose. That's an easy.
That's all I can think of. Jay Buhner up now. Jay hit into a grounder in the second inning. The shortstop.
Susan, I love the promotion.
Wide strike zone here, huh?
Yeah, Toshida is known for that. He'll call more strikes if you're around the plate. Even though you're a rookie, and Mendoza, he's getting the benefit of the doubt.
0-1 to Buhner.
There you see it again. Just the ball off the outside part of the plate. Hey, you throw strikes, Toshida's going to call them for you. I love the promotion they run here in Seattle. Kids come up and they shave their heads like Jay Buhner. They pulled a trick on him last year. His son was the last one in line. and Jay didn't realize it.
Foul back by Buhner, 0-2. Now, Sheeta was out watching him warm up before to see just where that ball was going. Very interesting between starts. There's that motion again. Just easy, fluid motion. Terrific.
Yeah, I love it. All arms and legs coming at the hitter.
My guess is he's not going anywhere after this start tonight. There's a fly ball. Paul O'Neill trying to go over there. It is foul. It's going to go off into the stands. 0-2 remains the count. Got 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees got 5 runs in the top of the 2nd inning. For that lead, a 2-run double by Mariano Duncan, an RBI single by Ruben Rivera, and sac flies by Derek Jeter and Wade Boggs for those 5 runs. Seattle got 1 back in the 3rd. RBI double by Alex Rodriguez. Jay Buhner did you see that swing? For strike 3, what a swing. Buhner just sort of half-heartedly swung at that, and this kid is really mixing up his pitches beautifully.
And he's got guys frustrated. Buhner fires his helmet down. Now he's definitely looking for the ball out over the plate. Look at how that ball, good movement inside. Buhner commits looking for the ball away, and it just ties him up inside. No chance.
Well, Billy Connors was right about this kid. This was a Billy Connors line. They asked him who's the best one down there, and Connors said this is the one. Swing and a miss by Paul Sorrento. Sorrento hit a grounder to first base in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1, batting .283 on the season. Nice pickup for Seattle, picking up Sorrento when they lose Tino Martinez.
Provided the home runs that they needed, 10 home runs.
0-1 the count. There's a single up the middle. Sorrento's on. Rivera picks up the ball, fires it back in.
The only place Pinella says he's hurting a little bit is against left-handed starters. He said Tino Martinez did such a good job batting against left-handed pitchers last year. He's got a platoon situation now at first base. Here, see, he's going to be throwing the ball away. Go ahead and watch this. The ball's going to be down and away. If you try to pull it, you'll hit those ground balls. Good extension from Sorrento.
That brings Dan Wilson to the plate. Wilson, the most improved player on this team, really has learned the pitchers in this league, and he was a Lou Piniella project, and he's just hitting tremendously. There's a ground ball to Derek Jeter. Out of the inning, and this kid is just absolutely impressive. At the end of 4, it's 5-1 Yankees. We'll be back to the Kingdom after this. Welcome back. We are in the top of the 5th inning, 5-1 Yankees here. Solomon Torres on the mound for Seattle. Yanks got all 5 of their runs in the 2nd inning. Boggs, Girardi, and O'Neill up here in the top of the 5th.
Took a little time, but now, yeah, okay, yeah, we like that. Andy Pettit goes,
good. You're a pitcher.
4 innings. You guys,
that's not bad.
You know, you got to earn the respect of the big leaguers. But that's a nice little outing so far for Mendoza.
Boggs with a sac fly in the 2nd inning. He looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
I always like picking Boggs' brains because there's so much in there. It's a little different than the average player.
A little different than the average brain.
No, I'm serious. I mean, he's got it broken down so many different ways. I wanted to find out. I said, Boggs, tell me why you guys struggle on the West Coast trip. He said, well, they come home and they have home cooking. That's part of the reason. I said, yeah.
Inside the Boggs door, what? Yeah.
I said, and the dome here, it always takes us 2 or 3 days to get used to the lights in the dome. Remember, he always talks about the lights. And then he says, Oakland's just a horrible place to play.
Well, he hates Oakland because he can't see the background. There's a pop-up. Right fielder's got it. There's last year on the West Coast. 1-8, 2-8. Lost 6 games in the standing on that last trip.
3-16, and how come? Why? Give me some answers. Boggs is very simple. Home cooking. Those guys are at home.
Come on.
He said there's no reason to there's no answer. But he said, you know, the funny thing is that we're either very good out here or very bad. There's nothing in between.
That's a strike, and there's a wide strike. Strike year, Yankees had a very good West Coast trip, 10-1. Solomon Torres throwing a little more strikes now to Joe Girardi. Here's a foul back.
I wanted to know from Girardi, did you ever catch Mendoza in spring training? He said, no, never got to see him.
No, he was sent out on the 2nd of March, I believe.
And I said, well, what do you do? He said, well, I'll go down there in the bullpen prior to the game, talk to, try to catch him, see what's going on.
There's a high pitch, 1-2. Girardi struck out in the 1st and then struck out again in the 2nd off of Edwin Hurtado. Torres very slight, does throw hard, but as we can see, a little erratic. He's a little better than the last time we brought him up. Keeps that ball outside of the glove there. Interesting. Swinging a grounder to 3rd. Russell Davis has it. Throws it over the first baseman, and Girardi is out. 2 away. Russell Davis, Lou Piniella says, Rick, is playing a terrific 3rd base, and that was always the rap on him, that he wasn't sure-handed, and he was kind of lead-footed, whatever that is, playing a terrific 3rd base so far. Lead-footed, right?
Yeah, that's like when they used to call me stone-handed.
Stone-hands. I wasn't going to say that. Paul O'Neill at the plate. He struck out in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd. Here's a pitch inside. The Yankees leading 5-1 here, top of the 5th. Solomon Torres replaced Edwin Hurtado. Here's a 1-0 count. That's a perfect strike right over the middle of the plate.
But you just see the difference in the strike zone from last night's ball game to tonight. Tashida's more liberal, calling a lot more strikes, and you have a faster paced ball game when umpires do that.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside for ball 2.
You call strikes, you have reputation that you're going to call more strikes. Hitters come up there a little more aggressive.
Here's a 2-1 count to O'Neill. That's a strike, maybe a little inside. O'Neill thinks maybe it was a little inside.
See, but you can't argue right now, Susan. This is the 5th inning. He's had a liberal strike zone. This ball's off the plate. It's off there by about 3 or 4 inches.
But he's been calling it all night.
All night long. So the hitter's got to realize that, go after, and start swinging the bat.
2-2 to O'Neill. Here's the pitch from Torres. That's low and inside. 3-2.
You know, that's another topic I brought up today with Wade Boggs. Do you worry? No, in other words, when you face a new pitcher, how tough is it? Well, it's pretty tough. I'd love to face guys that I've faced before. I said, well, do you worry about the catcher and the umpire? He said, no, not the umpire. I said, well, his strike zone is usually different from umpire to umpire. And the catcher's the one that's calling the signs.
That's inside for ball 4.
In other words, I tried to get him to admit that it is the catcher that's putting the fingers down. Every team likes to pitch you differently. Some teams believe they can get you out inside. Other teams throw you a lot more off-speed pitches. And that's the catcher that's calling the pitches.
In this case, Dan Wilson. He's done a tremendous job. What do you think makes a difference? This is a different player from last year, Dan Wilson. He's probably the most improved player on this team. As Tino Martinez steps in.
Well, for some reason, Lou Pinella's had success with players getting them to hit more home runs. Lou really believes, and I know Lee Ely is the hitting instructor on the team, but Lou really talks hitting with everybody. He really gets the hitters to use their legs more. A good example is Tino Martinez, hit 31 home runs last year.
There's a strike to Tino, 1-1. That was on the outside corner. Wilson's also a lot smarter now. He's learned the league. Lou made him learn the league coming over from the National League the year before last.
Oh, it helps. The more you get to see the pitchers, you know how they're going to pitch you, it helps you as a hitter.
1-1 count to Tino Martinez. There's a line back through the middle. Past the second baseman. Griffey will pick it up in center. O'Neill goes on to third. Tino Martinez is on with a single up the middle. That'll bring up Ruben Sierra.
Pinella really believes in using the bottom half. Now look at Tino. Drives with his legs. The ball's away. If he tries to pull the ball, it's a ground ball to second. See, look at how strong the legs go through the... You know, everybody thinks you hit with your upper body, but your legs get you in position to hit.
And every time he uses the opposite side of the field or hits up the middle, that head is perfectly down. That Boggs look, where the head is down like that.
You notice when guys hit the ball hard, their head is in that position.
That's exactly
when they don't hit it, they're pulling off the ball.
Here's Sierra. Sierra walked in the second inning, hit into a double play in the third. Here's a pitch from Torres. That's right over the middle of the plate for strike 1. There's Tino at first, Paul O'Neill at third. There's 2 out here, top of the 5th. Yankees leading 5-1.
A little wiggle, that means change up.
Exactly that.
See, that's the universal language. Doesn't matter that they speak Spanish or Italian or Greek.
And Ruben could have heard that.
See, the little wiggle, the universal signs. 1, 2, wiggle.
Ruben gets fooled with a low pitch from the left side a lot.
Well, he tends to pull off the ball from the left side a little more so than when he's a right-hander.
There it is again. 0-2 to Ruben Sierra from Torres. Waste 1 outside. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, you can't, as a pitcher, you just cannot hit the ball in the perfect spot every time. That's where Sierra makes his living on mistakes.
On mistakes. 1-2 count to Sierra. Ground ball to second base. Over to Sorrento, and that'll be it for the Yankees. So no runs there. 2 men left on. Score 5-1, going to the bottom of the 5th. Here in the bottom of the 5th innings, 5-1 Yankees and Rick Cerone. The story of the night, Ramiro Mendoza.
Great storyline. Young rookie facing the mighty Seattle Mariners.
There's an outside for a ball. And it's just like Jorge Posada said to me last night. He doesn't care who he's throwing to.
No, you're actually numb. In your first Major League game, you're numb about the surroundings. There's Joey Cora. I was going to say, this guy, you remember in the playoffs last year.
Good punter. Yep.
Mattingly had trouble on at first base fielding the ball. He got him started with a little bunt single. But you know, your first Major League game, you're a little numb. You don't realize what's going on. It doesn't matter if there's 10 people in the stands or 50,000.
He had a harder time getting to the hotel yesterday. Couldn't find the Kingdome. They had to go and get him.
The wrong hotel. Wound up watching the ball game in the stands here at the Kingdome.
That's inside to Joey Cora. It's 2-1 to Cora. Cora's not having a good year this year so far. He's batting .225, grounded out in the 3rd inning. We'll try and get on, though. Take a lot of pitches, try and bunt, anything you want. There's a grounder to Tino. Fields it perfectly for the 1st out. That'll bring up our old buddy Russell Davis. Great story about Russell Davis, because they're trying to change his swing a little bit. They're treating him as if he's a rookie. And Lee Elia is going to start taking Russell to the driving range to play golf. So he starts shifting his weight instead of using those wrists.
I tell you, it makes a lot of sense. And the golf swing and the baseball swing are identical, just on a different plane. The weight shift you're talking about, Susan, is from the backside to the front side, shifting through the ball.
There's a strike 1 from Mendoza. Russell singled in that 3rd inning, singled to left. Trying to get him to use the whole field. Lou says they're just going to treat him like a rookie, like it's his 1st season in the big leagues, and start all over again.
They're going to be very patient with him because they know the potential's there. And, you know, the thing that hurt Russell, he sat behind Boggs for a year and a half. That hurts a player's development.
1-1 count. That's outside for ball 2.
You know, it was a nice insurance policy for the Yankees, and he did get to play some last year for the Yankees, but most of the time he was riding the pine.
2-1 the count. That's outside for ball 3. 3-1 to Russell Davis. 1 out here. We're in the bottom of the 5th. 5-1 Yankees. Baltimore lost today to the Oakland A's. There's a long shot foul. That's those wrists. That's what you're doing with those wrists, trying to get around on the ball.
Now, Sid, right here, see, he goes around the baseball. They're trying to get him to go through the baseball. He tends to cut off his swing right about there and now pulls it inside. They're trying to get him extend more through the baseball.
There's a fly pop-up. O'Neill going over out of there, and he should be under it for the 2nd out. Now, what you saw with Russell Davis, you saw no stride at all. It's all wrist, all upper body.
He's a spin hitter. Spins off his backside. And what they're trying to get him to do is have that weight shift. So the golf swing, go to the driving range. He never played golf.
Huh? He never played golf.
Very interesting. Pinella also told me about cross-handed, just to hit balls off the tee.
He used to do that with pads, Pagliarulo and Mattingly.
He wants Russell to hit off a tee cross-handed. That gets your right arm to really extend through the baseball.
Darren Bragg up now. Bragg's been a nice player for Pinella. He's an overachiever, smart player. Nice platoon out there on left with Amaral and Bragg. He's 0 for 2 today, but hitting .318 on the season. 1-0 the count. That's a strike.
Good movement from Mendoza. The ball starts off the plate inside. He's got good late movement. And it's because he's so loose. I mean, all arms and legs at the hitter.
1-1 the count to Bragg. That's inside for ball 2. Bobby and I were talking about his motion, so much like Mariano Rivera.
And you see how he starts from the first base side of the rubber, because he wants to really work on the inside part of the plate to left-handers and away from right-handers. Really way on that first base side of the rubber.
Just that little difference makes that big difference.
It's like we're back to golf again, but how a guy tees the ball up from one side to the other.
3-1 count. There's a grounder. Oh, right over Tino Martinez into right field. And Bragg is on at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. There's a bad hop right over Tino. O'Neill fielded it. Bragg is on at first. 2 outs here, bottom of the 5th.
Good movement down. He's going to get a lot of ground balls. But what happens, it hits the end of the dirt right before the turf begins. And it just shoots the ball over his head. Oh, man.
Right over his head.
Now, he doesn't speak any English. I don't know. That's right. Tino speaks some Spanish.
I thought we were going to see a lot more of Mariano Duncan in those meetings. That was what Girardi had said, that if they get into trouble, Mariano Duncan will be at every meeting. That brings you up young Alex Rodriguez. He's got the only RBI for the Mariners, the RBI double in the 3rd inning. Came in batting .347 on the year. Throw over to Martinez. Bragg gets back. Bragg will run. He's a good base runner, very smart player. One of those gutty little guys, they call him.
Scrappy. I mean, they're going to fight you. They don't have the most ability, but they're going to battle you. Looks like Rodriguez wants him to steal a base, but they're down 5-1. Better make sure you get a good jump.
Looking over for the sign, third base.
The other thing that I've been impressed with, he's quick to the plate, Mendoza. Gets the ball to the plate in a hurry.
Doesn't look like he's afraid of anything, does he? 1-0 count. There's a foul back. 1-1 the count to Alex Rodriguez. 2 out here. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, 5-1 Yankees. Alex grounded out in the first and then doubled in the 1 run for the Mariners in the 3rd.
Most of those are decoy signs. Something will be live. It could be the belt. If something, you know, you hit the live sign, then you have to start counting from there.
Mendoza throws over. Bragg gets back.
You know, for our fans out there, we have a chance here. You're looking at 2 young shortstops, Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter, who are going to be stars in this league for a long time. And the thing is, they're both about 6'3". Rodriguez has about 25 pounds on Derek.
There's a ball that gets by Girardi. Bragg goes over to second base. So 2-1 the count, 2 out. Bragg at second. Alex Rodriguez at the plate. And both of them 20 years old, right?
And here's the breaking ball to steal on. Girardi saw the runner going. He tries to pick it and make a play. That's all you can do really on that ball when a guy's stealing. Yeah, 20 years old. Pretty good futures ahead for these 2 shortstops. Yeah, 279. Derek had his 2nd home run last night. How about Rodriguez's numbers?
Comebacker Mendoza tries to get it and drops the ball. Rodriguez will be on as Bragg goes to 3rd. Tried to get it. It looked like Rick with his pitching hand and not with the glove hand.
Well, he was going to have a tough time on that play anyway. He's going away from first base. He thinks if he barehands the ball, he's got a better chance.
And here comes Stottlemyre very quickly.
You see the ball, and see, he kind of falls off to first base. Now, he's got no play anywhere. Glove hand, if he catches the ball, Rodriguez runs pretty good down the line.
All right, now there's Boggs coming in there. Now, do you get out of the way and let Boggs get that?
That was a spot, I mean, a topper off the home plate that really nobody's going to make a play on Rodriguez.
All right, we have a meeting of the whole infield at the pitcher's mound right now. All right, what do they say? You try and calm this kid down, right? We're in the 5th inning.
I mean, you got Ken Griffey Jr. at the plate on a hot streak. He's capable of hitting a 3-run homer. That's the, you know, hey, go ahead, work them careful. The thing, you know, what makes Seattle so tough, they got Edgar Martinez behind Griffey for protection.
And then, of course, Buhner behind Edgar. All right, Griffey has flied out to center field in the 1st, struck out looking in the 3rd. 2 out here, men on 1st and 3rd. Yankees up 5-1. And here's Junior.
The other thing now, it's the 3rd time that Junior and Martinez and Buhner have seen Mendoza. So they start to get a read on a pitcher. What I've been impressed with his changeup, his off-speed pitches that he's been throwing to Griffey to keep him off balance.
0-1 to Griffey. Mendoza looks in, Griffey backs out. The Junior trying to play a little head games there, try and get the kid a little nervous.
He wants to drive in some runs now. He's seen him twice. This is his 3rd time.
0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Strike 2 inside. There's that wide strike once again.
Well, the ball starts off the plate inside, and that's what makes it so difficult for a hitter to watch. This ball really starts off the plate. See it? Off. Just the last 5 feet, it comes over and catches the inside part of the plate.
All right, 0-2 to Griffey. 2 out. 2 runners on. 5-1 Yankees. Runners going. That's inside for a ball. Rodriguez takes second base. All right, so now you've got first base open, men on 2nd and 3rd, 2 out, 1-2 the count.
Got to make a good pitch here. Make a good pitch. He's used his changeup pretty well. He's thrown the ball inside against Griffey.
There's a pass, Martinez into right field. They're going to have 2 runs scoring. That's the 2nd play that Martinez has missed here. 2 runs in, and it's 5-3 Seattle.
A very catchable ball. by Tino. And now if you're Mendoza, you just got to, okay, settle back. You still got a 5-3 lead. But it almost looked like Martinez thought this ball was hit harder than it was. You see the changeup down and away? He jumps a little bit early and then just misses the ball.
Ball goes over his glove and into right field. 2-run scoring. We now have a 5-3 ball game. Still 2 outs here, but Edgar Martinez at the plate. Struck out in the first inning, hit it, grounded to second in the third. There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to Martinez.
But I think they're giving them all base hits.
It's a hit?
That was a hit, and the other ball was a base hit also. So very generous scoring because 2 very catchable balls at first base by Martinez.
All right, so that's a 2-run single by Ken Griffey there. Edgar Martinez at the plate. Count is 0-1. 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runs in for Seattle. It's 5-3 Yankees. Mendoza throws over.
Suzyn, in this situation, Martinez becomes very dangerous. You have a runner on first base. The thing that makes Martinez so tough is he's willing to take the ball the other way, drive you to right field. The big hole between first and second is what he tries to shoot for.
0-1 the count. That's outside for a ball. 1-1 to Martinez. And of course, the third time around, as you said, seeing this kid, Edgar Martinez, the odds go in his favor.
But let's think back to Griffey's at bat. He pounded him inside, went to a changeup down the way. Junior hit it right at Martinez. He should be out of the inning.
1-1 the count. There's a grounder thrown foul. 1-2 to Edgar Martinez. 5-3 Yankees. Bottom of the 5th. 2 runs in here for the Mariners. 23-year-old Ramiro Mendoza on the mound. Ramiro Mendoza. I'll remember that one.
At the end of the game, we can say, and Mendoza's line, right? Mario Mendoza line.
Outside. Girardi throws down. Griffey's safe.
Well, Pinella's jump-started his team by starting to steal bases. They're down 5-1. He lets Bragg steal second. He lets Rodriguez steal second. And here, Junior, he's been perfect this year. That's his 6 stolen bases in 6 tries. So sometimes you have to do things. You manufacture runs.
Get the crowd back into the game. This place has been very quiet for a sold-out crowd. 2-2 the count. Mendoza pitching to Martinez here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout for Ramiro Mendoza. But the Mariners do get 2 runs. It is 5-3. We're going to the top of the 6th. Yankees leading it. Ramiro Mendoza getting Edgar Martinez.
Hasn't really shown the curveball. Fastball, slider, went to the curveball and just fooled Martinez.
Mariano Duncan leading off here in the top of the 6th. There's Mendoza. Now look at Ruben. Look at Ruben Sierra. Everyone's talking to him now. There's Jose Cardinal over there. Now they got a lot to say. Swing and a miss by Duncan. Mel Stottlemyre.
Jose Cardinal saying, don't worry about it. Still throwing the ball good, which he is. He made some good pitches to Griffey and to Martinez.
And that last strike to Martinez was terrific. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. We had a change for the Mariners. Darren Bragg moves from left to right, and Rich Amaral playing left field. Buhner's out of the game. There's Rich Amaral. Nice little platoon they've had. Amaral can play anywhere. He's played in the outfield this year, was a second baseman when the Mariners got him. 31, 32 years old by now.
You can just sense the momentum starting to change in this ball game. The crowd's getting back into it.
Gerald Williams up now, takes a pitch from Solomon Torres. That is a ball. One for 2 with a single today for Gerald. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Gerald Williams. That's inside for ball 2. Torres looks, Rick, like he's concentrating a lot harder than he had in the other times where he was really erratic and would fly off the mound and would get Piniella so incensed with his lack of control.
Well, it's also, too, when you start putting runners on base with Solomon, he tends to lose his concentration.
There's a swing and a miss for a strike. 2-1 the count to Gerald.
You know, as long as he's free and easy, nobody on base, and nobody's hitting the ball hard, he's fine. I'll tell you, Yankees are swinging a lot of bad pitches now out of the strike zone. Gerald, see how he ties his hands up on the ball inside.
Swinging a lot of high pitches from this kid.
Right, and Torres has been known to be wild. 19 walks in 23 innings in AAA before he got called up today. Give him a chance to put you on base.
2-1 count to Gerald Williams. Here's the pitch from Torres. That's a strike. See, this is what the Giants thought they had when they got him a few years ago.
Trying to go fastball up and in, but he just paints the corner. Dan Wilson gives him the sign up and in, and he just painted the outside corner.
2-2 the count from Solomon Torres to Gerald Williams. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gerald waving at a pitch out of the strike zone. So 2 strikeouts here in the top of the 6th.
We always talk about the good breaking ball being the one that's not a strike.
That was
but you know what causes
this?
You know what causes a hitter to swing at a breaking ball that bad? The fastball 2 pitches prior that he threw by him up and in.
Now this
so now it makes you aware. Yeah, but it makes you aware that he can come hard in. You got to be a little bit quicker. You'll tend to swing at more bad pitches.
As Ruben Rivera just did. 0-1 to Ruben Rivera. Ruben today, RBI single in the 2nd inning, and then he walked in the 4th. Ruben out early taking fly balls in center field. Was having trouble with the lights yesterday. He was out very early. There was one of the hits out to center. He couldn't see it. He lost it in the lights as it was coming out. So he was out real early having guys hit fly balls to him. Great work ethic. Here's a 1-1 count to Ruben Rivera. That's a strike in the outside part of the plate. And now Solomon Torres is starting to get those same calls from Sheeta that Ramiro Mendoza is.
This is the one breaking ball you can hit. See, and that's a little jelly leg. The hitter's leg turns to jelly.
Here's a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Solomon Torres strikes out the side in the 6th, and this place is starting to erupt here. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-3 Yankees. We'll be right back. Strike 1 from Ramiro Mendoza. We're starting off the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 5-3 Yankees. Rich Amaral came into the game. Buhner out. Amaral playing left field. Bragg has moved to right. There's a ball. 1-1 the count to Rich Amaral. Amaral, as I said, nice player, was an infielder, converted him to an outfielder, has platooned with Darren Bragg. Lou won't overexpose him, won't use him too much. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate. 1-2.
That's a good word you'd use.
What?
Overexpose him. That's a Lou
word.
Yeah, I know. That's how I stayed in the game about 16 years. I always felt overexposure will get you out of the game.
You kept changing teams. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice strikeout by Mendoza. Is that what you called that? That's why you kept moving around.
That's it. Can't stay in one place too long.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by the Michelin X1, because so much is riding on your tires. Paul Sorrento comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Ramiro Mendoza, the story here. Bottom of the 6th inning, 5-3 Yankees. There's a swing and a foul back to strike 1.
If you're thinking about Mendoza, how's his stamina? Well, he pitched last Sunday at Syracuse for Columbus. He went 8 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, gave up 1 home run, only walked 1 batter, and I think that's what's impressed me tonight. He's been around the plate.
And you saw that in the last 2 starts before that. No walks against Ottawa. There's a strike. Went 6 innings against Ottawa before that. No walks, 2 strikeouts. And then against Toledo, start before that, 7 1/3 innings, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. 0-2 count to Paul Sorrento.
And that is just
that.
Yeah, I mean, that is he's been throwing it, he's getting the call, and the hitters are shaking their head because they haven't seen this much movement on a pitch. Look at this ball. It starts about 4 inches inside and just darts back over the inside part of the plate, and give Toshida credit. He is calling strikes.
He's called it consistently. That same pitch that breaks back over the plate, he's called it consistently all evening. 2 strikeouts here for the young right-hander, Ramiro Mendoza. 2 outs, bottom of 6, 5-3 Yankees. There's a strike, 0-1. Dan Wilson at the plate. Wilson's grounded out in his last 2 times up, batting .266 on the year. He had a 3-homer game earlier this season, as Griffey did last night.
I'll tell you, great movement on his fastball. And give Girardi a little credit, because now, as a catcher, the umpire's calling has a large strike zone. And you know where he's giving you that extra strike. Move out there. Look at Girardi now. He's all the way out on outside. You know, hey, he's going to keep giving it to you. Go ahead and take advantage of it.
A little bit.
Keep going a little bit further, See how much the umpire will give you. The thing with Mendoza, he's done a great job. This Seattle team, they've hit 74 home runs in their last 40 ball games.
82 on the year. They lead the league in absolutely everything. There's a line drive into left field. Gerald going over, plays it off the wall. Wilson will hop into second base. And the Mariners have 1 on with 2 out. Bottom of the 6th, and up comes Joey Cora.
Second baseman, Joey Cora.
Cora's got 2 ground outs tonight.
Tries to sneak the fastball in on Wilson, but he's a lot quicker this year. You can't jam Dan Wilson like you used to.
Gerald playing over almost towards center field side instead of for Wilson to pull there. Here's Joey Cora, grounded out twice tonight. Dan Wilson at second, 2 out here, bottom of the 6th, 5-3 Yankees. That's inside. Now Mendoza kind of pawing at the dirt a little bit. 1-0 the count. That's low for ball 2.
You could almost see him set the changeup grip that time from the center field camera. And here's Mariano Rivera warming up. 25 scoreless innings in relief.
That's inside. And you can see the whole body language on Mendoza now starting to change a little bit. Either he's a little tired or it's starting to get to him, and out goes Girardi, and here comes Mariano Duncan.
Well, you sense that this game was starting to turn around. And they got a big boost last inning. Now Mel Stottlemyre, he senses what's going on. He wants to just keep the composure of Mendoza. Keep the composure and don't let the momentum change.
All right, so now they are bringing in Duncan. Stottlemyre trying to talk to him about something.
Well, this is also, I think, Susan, just stalling just to get Mariano ready.
Kid's done a terrific job, Rick, no matter what happens.
Great job. And he should have been out of the last inning without giving up those 2 runs.
Now, as a catcher, what do you say to a young pitcher? First major league start in this ballpark, sold out. Mariano is speaking in Spanish to him.
See, the only thing here, he's lost his concentration just a bit. You try to get him back on track. Cora struggling this year. You want to get this hitter out. You don't want to keep turning over that Mariners lineup.
All right, 2 out here, bottom of the 6th inning, 5-3 Yankees. There's a strike to Joey Cora. Dan Wilson on second base. 0-1 the count. There's a ground ball to second. Mariano Duncan fields it over to Martinez. That's the inning. 5-3 Yankees. We're done with 6. We're going to the top of the 7th inning. Score is 5-3 here in Seattle.
Your question, can you name the 3 Yankees to win back-to-back MVP awards? And I'd like to welcome back my partner, Bobby Murcer. Bobby, you want to take a shot at that trivia question?
Sure, but a little bit later on, let me set the Yankees coming up here in the top of the 7th inning. The Yankees lead at 5-3, and this is Derek Jeter leading it off for the Yankees. He'll be followed by Wade Boggs and then Joe Girardi. Jeter officially 0 for 1 this evening. He had a sacrifice fly RBI back in the 2nd inning. He struck out at a 4. And we have really been impressed by Mendoza, the youngster who has getting some congratulations from his newly found teammates here for the Yankees. And he has done a fine job. I'll tell you, he may be through. Rivera still warming up in the Yankee bullpen. Russ Davis at third. Throw out Jeter. There's one away here in the seventh.
Yeah, Bobby, you mentioned Mendoza. It took a little time for his teammates to warm up to him, but after a quality start like he had tonight, now everybody's coming over and shaking his hand. And I tell you, he threw strikes, kept the ball down, got a lot of ground balls, and he could have been out of the fifth inning without giving up a run if Tino makes the play.
Wade Boggs batting for the fourth time and sends one deep into center field. Junior on his way back towards the center field wall, right in front of that wall on the warning track. He makes it look easy. He's got good speed, good instincts, and is 2 away.
Well, he really did make that look easy. That ball was crushed, but it just seems like he gets back there so easily. I mean, Boggs put a charge in this ball. He has it no problem. He wants to stay away from that wall. He doesn't want to run into those walls anymore.
And Lou doesn't want him running into the wall. Joe Girardi has struck out twice in this game and then grounded out once. He's 0 for 3. Solomon Torres, pitching for the Mariners, came in the fourth inning. Ricardo went 3 2/3 for the Mariners. That's fouled back and out of play. And in the last inning, he struck out the side. Yankees going down 1-2-3. Duncan Williams and Ruben Rivera. When he found the strike zone, very tough on the right-handed hitter. And now the count is 1-1 strike, 2 away to Girardi. Slow chopper down the third base side. Tough play for Davis. There won't be any play at all. So an infield hit for Girardi. That'll bring up Paul O'Neill.
I'll tell you, it's nice when a catcher can run. You've had a tough day at the plate, a couple of strikeouts, a little ground ball to third. You get beat up on this ball inside. I mean, that ball just saws him right off. But he's got the good legs, Bobby. He outruns this bait, and he gets a little infield single. Davis had no play. Girardi runs very good for a catcher.
Well, back in the inning that you were talking about when Mendoza pops a bad luck, that was in the fifth inning. 2 outs, and Darren Bragg gets on base on a bad hop single into right field, and then a little slow roller down in front of the mound, and Mendoza couldn't hold on to it. And then what would have been the third out of that inning, no runs scored, a little soft line drive or a medium line drive that was off the glove of Tino Martinez, and that allowed a couple runs to score. Otherwise, he has been very, very impressive. Mendoza making his major league debut. Paul O'Neill batting with 2 away, and Torres delivers inside for a ball. Yankees got out in front in the second inning. They put 5 on the board. They led it 5-0. And the Mariners picked up 1 in the third and then 2 in the fifth. And that's where we're at right now. Yankees lead at 5-3. A 5-2, 2-0. So the count in favor for Paul O'Neill.
Well, I think if you give Torres a chance, you see Joe Torre talking to Mel Stottlemyre. But if you give Solomon Torres a chance, he's going to get you into good fastball counts to hit if you're a hitter. Does not have a good command of the strike zone. But the Yankee hitters have been expanding the strike zone, swinging a lot of bad pitches.
There's Randy Johnson, who is on the disabled list, but a pinched nerve in his back. Got a problem with a disc back there. Piniella and the Mariners hope that he's not out very long. 2-0 pitch, line drive to Rodriguez. The young tall shortstop brings it down, and the Yankees are gone here in the seventh. We've played 6.5. The Yankees lead it 5-3. You see it. Yankees lead at 5-3, and Ramiro Mendoza, and we will take a look at the Mendoza line. And it is impressive for the youngster, only 23 years old, making his debut. 92 pitches, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits. He struck out 6 and didn't walk a soul here tonight. And he was impressive. Rick Cerone, where has he been all this time?
I'll tell you, he had some kind of movement on his fastball. Now he gives it over to his countryman, Mariano Rivera, who's been just about perfect for the Yankees, 3-0. Look at that, 14 hits in 32 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts. called upon again, and it was right here at the Kingdome, Bobby. Remember in the playoffs where Mariano really stepped up, another young pitcher. Last year's playoff threw those 3 shutout innings against the Mariners.
Mendoza will leave, and he will leave it into the hands of Rivera. And the first pitch to Russ Davis. Chuck at the second pitch to Russ Davis over in the outside corner. Strike to 0-2. Davis, Darren Bragg, and Alex Rodriguez, the scheduled 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Yankees out in front 5-3. Well, since that time in the playoffs, Rivera has not stopped. He just gets better and better and better, and the Yankees they've got to be proud of their Yankee organization. They have produced some young, good-looking talent up here, and you see another youngster in Mendoza besides Rivera and a few others, Derek Jeter, etc. Even Rivera, all those youngsters are out of the Yankee farm system, and you just don't build a strong foundation unless you build it through your minor leagues.
From the bottom up. And remember, his name was mentioned in spring training when they were talking about a second baseman, Chuck Knobloch. Everybody wanted Rivera.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Rivera comes in to strike out Russ Davis.
Right fielder, Darren Bragg.
A little bit different, just real smooth motion, but his ball explodes. The last 3 feet, it jumps at the hitter. A lot of swing. Look at that. I mean, you can see where he's trying to make contact. The ball's already by him.
So Darren Bragg will step in for the 5th time. And the pitch is up high, ball 1. Darren Bragg is the one that got it started back in the 5th inning, that unlucky inning for Mendoza with that bad hop at first base. Gets by Martinez, and then the Mariners went on to score 2 runs. That's a strike, 1-1.
Mariano, sorry, Bobby. Mariano with that nice, smooth delivery, and really extends his hand. Look, I mean,
do they teach that in Panama?
I don't know, because Mendoza
was the same way almost.
Real flu and easy. Look at this. I mean, that is just that's pitcher perfect. And it just comes right at the hitter.
Pop up right side. Duncan calling for it, and he's got it 2 away. I don't know how many times in baseball history that there's been 3 native Panamanians on one team, and especially one that comes in to save or try to save a game for a guy that started from Panama.
Right. I don't think it ever happened before. I'd be willing to take my chances and say this might be the first time in history.
That would be a great trivia quiz somewhere down the line.
And Ruben Rivera, Mariano's cousin, had a base hit RBI in the ball game.
Ruben. Alex Rodriguez back. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
You see so many guys swing through his fastball. I mean, it's one thing. These are major league hitters that, okay, his fastball is coming. They know what to expect. It's going to be a fastball, but they swing and miss at Mariano's fastball more than anybody I can remember. I mean, that's a fastball down the middle of the plate.
That ball actually exploded out of Girardi's glove. Another one exploding by Rodriguez. 0-2 now.
I mean, again, when you can get by. Now that's almost a mistake pitch.
Ties him up though. Look at that.
Ties him up. Didn't get his hands extended.
That pitch outside for a ball. 1-2. I know. In the pregame, you asked Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, well, if Mendoza does well tonight, or if he's just about average, you think he'll stay around? Well, I got to believe that Mendoza will stay around.
I think he'll stay around, and now it puts a little more pressure on Kamenicki's next start.
Little tapper back to Rivera. Easy play. And the Mariners are gone here in the 7th. We played 7 at the Kingdome. We've seen a lot of new things tonight. And we're going to head to the 8th inning with the Yankees leading at 5-3.
Can you name the 3 Yankees to win back-to-back MVP awards? Bobby Murcer, take over.
Oh, it's got to be Yogi, Mickey, and Roger.
See, I missed Yogi. In 54 and 55.
Tino Martinez leads it off for the Yanks here in the 8th inning, followed by Sierra, then Duncan. Solomon Torres, who came in the 4th with 2 away, continues to pitch for the Mariners. Both bullpens are silent at this time. Yankees lead at 5-3. Bobby Murcer along with Rick Cerone. In our last telecast here in the month of May. We go quite a few days in between telecasts these month of May. High chopper right side. That's that pitch and that swing that Chris Chambliss has been working with Martinez on, trying to pull that outside pitch for that ball that's moving away from him.
We saw him earlier in the ball game drive a couple balls to left field, but that one again, he gets out there. I think he's just getting a little too anxious. Wants to start hitting some more home runs. Only has 6 on the year.
Sierra 0 for 2. He has a walk and a run scored. That came back in the second inning when the Yankees put 5 on the board. Hey, let me ask you. I got my own opinion why the Yankees don't play that well here at the Kingdom.
Okay.
It's just the Yankees have never played well here in Seattle. So what's your reasoning for it?
My reasoning is the time change and domes. You just don't see the baseball as a hitter here. What's your feeling? Boggs thinks it's at home cooking. Guys are at home to get their home cooking, and they play better.
Pop foul off to the left side. I think that the Yankees, well, back when I played, we just didn't take the Mariners that seriously. We came in here and just kind of was playing because we had to show up at 7 or 7:30. We didn't take them that serious, and the Mariners were playing the mighty New York Yankees.
They always
they
get
were
up
playing their best, and they got up for it, and the Yankees were kind of silent and basically on vacation. I just don't think they put a whole lot of importance to it. And then you can bring in the dome, you know, and the fact that you may not see the ball that well here, etc.
Okay, now that was a while ago. But now these are the mighty Mariners. So give me a reason for last year and this year.
They're just playing a lot better.
That has something to do with it.
Driven into right field for a base hit. So Sierra comes up with his first base hit of the evening. And the 8th hit for the Yankees. Hey, sports fans, at the WB Channel 11, we've got baseball, football. We even got space balls. That's right. In a galaxy not too far away. Evil lurks behind the clouds, but it's nothing a flying Winnebago and an adventurer for hire can't handle. Stick around for Spaceballs tonight after the game. May the Schwartz be with you.
Isn't that Mel? That's Mel Brooks.
Oh, boy.
That is Mel Brooks. He's out of his mind.
Mariano Duncan fouls the first pitch, backing out of play. May the Schwartz be with you.
Remember how it used to be in Star Wars, may the Force be with you? Well, Mel Brooks says, may the Schwartz be with you.
You'll have to explain that one to me.
Yankees need to get another run on the board. 5-3. Torres has done a good job in relief of Hurtado, but they need to start having runners run around the bases for a little while. You see again Duncan expanding the strike zone. That ball's up over his head, and he takes a hack at it.
Well, Duncan's up there to hit. I mean, he's not up there for any other purpose than to get his swings in. And the way Tashida has been calling balls and strikes behind home plate this evening, I mean, he's expanded the strike zone, but for both sides.
Right.
That tells a hitter something. When you go to the plate, if it's close, you better be swinging. Swing and a miss, strike 3, so Duncan has struck out for the second time. 2 away here in the 8th.
Another good breaking ball from Torres. See, he tries to set up way outside. Get out there. See him, gives him a target. His glove is just barely touching the outside part of the plate.
Good pitch by Torres. Torres has now struck out 5 since coming on in the 4th. Gerald Williams batting with 2 away. Gerald 1 for 3. Sends this one looping down the right field line. Over is Bragg, and with that speed, he will catch up with it down in the right field corner. It looked for a moment like it was going to fall in. Williams can't believe it. But Bragg ran it down, and the Yankees are gone. We played 7.5 here at the Kingdom. A sellout crowd, and the Yankees lead it 5-3. For the bottom of the 8th inning here at the Kingdom, Yankees lead at 5-3. Mariano Rivera pitching for the Yankees. Came on in the 7th inning. He'll be facing the tough crew coming up here in the 8th. Ken Griffey, Jr., also Edgar Martinez and Rich Amaral. And Jr. this evening, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He's the one who hit that soft liner off the glove of Tino Martinez into right field back in the 5th inning. So it's pure swinging as hard as you can against this heat off of Rivera. Fox now, Andy Fox will take over at second base. So Duncan is gone. A defensive move made by the Yankees. That's up high for a ball.
Well, you talk about a closer on a team. Well, this, to me, if Rivera can get you to the 9th inning, get through the heart of their order, he's done the job. And then John Wetman can finish it off in the bottom of the order.
Another pitch up high. Well, you brought up something. With Mendoza coming up here tonight, I mean, there had been a lot of speculation. You know, it was undecided for a long, long time who was going to pitch tonight. It was, well, do we bring Rivera out of the bullpen and start him, or do we start Bob Whitman, or what do we do? That pitch inside for a ball now. It's 3-1 to Griffey.
I think where he is right now in his role, you talk to a lot of managers, they say the toughest thing is to bridge the gap between the starter and your closer. And Rivera has done it better than anybody in baseball to this point. So why fool with that? I mean, we thought Jeff Nelson was going to be very reliable out of the bullpen. You see Griffey expanding the strike zone on a high fastball, but Nelson has struggled. Wickman has struggled. The only one who's really been consistent in the Yankee bullpen has been Rivera.
Wetman has struggled a little bit too. Griffey chased the ball out of the strike zone. Now the count is 3-2. First batter up here in the bottom of the 8th. And a jam shot over towards the Mariner dugout. Back into the stands. Souvenir time for the Mariner fans. 55,000 plus. A sellout here at the Kingdom. This is the 5th time that they've sold out in 1996. I think it's kind of weird the Yankees haven't sold out one time at the stadium yet. And the Mariners here in Seattle have turned it around, and they have had tonight their 5th sellout of the season. A little looper over the head of Andy Fox in the right field. Base hit for Griffey. And that'll bring up Martinez, the potential tying run.
And it gives the crowd, I mean, he doesn't hit this ball. He knows fastball's coming, but that ball still beats him a little bit, Bobby. He's just strong enough to get it over Fox's head. You mentioned their attendance. They're averaging over 33,000 a ball game. They're 3rd in the American League behind the 2 brand new ballparks in Baltimore and Cleveland. So last year was not just important for the Mariners, but for the city to keep their baseball alive here in Seattle.
Been a tough night for Martinez so far. He is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees lead at 5-3. Yeah, the Mariners will probably draw 150,000 in this 3-game series against the Yankees.
Oh, that looked like something bothered Martinez. Watch the reaction. Swings right through this fastball. Looks like something's hurting him. Moans a little bit, Bobby. Watch this swing. Gets through it, and then, ow! What happened there? Looked like a shoulder, but he's back in the batter's box.
When you swing and miss like that, there's a lot of jarring to your body.
They also say he uses one of the heaviest bats in the American League, about 36 ounces.
Really?
35 inches, 36 ounces. You get that started, it's tough to stop.
You can add about a ½ ounce of pine tar onto it too, so probably about 36.5 ounces. One of the best hitters in all of baseball, the designated hitter for the Mariners. Lou says he wants to get him some playing time at first base. And Lou's already looking towards interleague play
That's right.
He was saying, look, if I want to have Edgar around here,
he's got to be able to play
he's
the
got to be
field.
able to play the field if we're heading off to interleague play here in the next year or two. Now backing out of play.
What a good hitter Martinez is. And you talk to Lee Ilya, and Lee says that Edgar is one of the smartest hitters. There's Lee, one of the smartest hitters he's ever been around. He knows everything a pitcher's going to try to do to get him out. He said the only guy he could compare him to who was that intelligent and remembered at bats so well was Pete Rose. He compared him, the way he approaches a game, like Pete Rose.
Out in front on that one, bounds it towards the Mariner dugout. Well, the one thing about it is that a lead is never too big, especially against the Mariners here at the Kingdom. But besides that, the Mariners lead the major leagues in home runs coming into tonight's ball game with 82.
Yeah, 74 in their last 40 ball games.
The Mariners went ratty-tat-tat last night here at the Kingdom. The count here is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Martinez. Griffey on at first base.
You notice Mariano has slowed down his pace a little bit. Normally he gets the ball and fires it, and he's just taking a little more time in between pitches. Really concentrate on Griffey at first base. Remember, Martinez is the one with the bat in his hand.
Gets a piece of a high fastball.
Martinez's approach to hitting is really, he looks for the ball away. He wants the ball on the outside part of the plate and drive it. He's just expanding his zone. I think something's bothering him with the swing again. It looks like something's bothering him maybe in the shoulder area.
It may be that Rivera fastball moving in the strike zone. Well, that fastball that you see leave his hand, and all of a sudden when it gets to the strike zone, it just explodes. Well, hit in the left center field, and it's going to be a base hit. Rivera over quickly. Griffey will stop at third, and Edgar Martinez has his 25th double of the season.
Gets the breaking ball, speeds up his bat. See that? He's still looking for the ball away, but it's a breaking ball. Now instead of hitting it even when he hits it out in front, drives it into left field. What a good professional hitter Edgar Martinez is.
So Edgar Martinez, 2 of the toughest hitters in this Mariner lineup, Junior and Martinez. They're now on at second and third. Nobody out. Yankees lead at 5-3. And Pinella, I think, is calling back Amaral, who was scheduled to hit.
And his only left-hand batter that he has available is Strange, Doug Strange. Switch hitter on the bench tonight.
Well, that looks like Rickey's going to bring up Strange to hit in this situation. He's got Sorrento hitting behind Strange, so another left-handed batter.
Well, I think what Lou's thinking, Bobby, worst case, you want him to pull the baseball. You want Strange to pull the ball with nobody out. You advance the runner. You score the runner from third. You can actually tie up this ball game, Bobby, without getting a base hit.
And Joe Torre now a little bit concerned, and rightfully so. Jay Buhner, who was scheduled to hit in this spot, started the ball game, had the lead in the 6th inning. They slightly sprained right knee, and that's when Amaral came in. Amaral led off the 6th inning with a strikeout. So Lou Pinella with runners at second and third. He wants a left-handed bat up there now, and it's going to be Doug Strange. So the Yankees in a jam here in the 8th. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
And we go back to it. Mariano Rivera has not given up a run now in 13 outings in a row, 26 innings in a row. So it's really right now Griffey at third base, Martinez at second with nobody out.
And Strange He's a little bit late on that fastball. Strike 2, 0-2. Well, the best thing that Rivera could do here would be to strike out Strange.
And look, now see,
he just threw that one by.
Right by him, up in the strike zone. As a catcher, I used to say, okay, let's go right up the ladder. He wants to swing at that ball above the belt. Let's go a little bit higher.
Well, you got to go up again, right?
Go up now just a little bit higher than that. Right?
And he went up a little bit higher.
I thought he got it by him. I thought he got it by him, Bobby. But that's it. You know how they say, just go up the ladder. Walk the ladder on the hitter. Strange did a good job just making contact on that high fastball.
Well, now the reason you go up higher in the strike zone like that is for a hitter to hit the ball hard, he's got to get on top of that fastball. And Strange hasn't shown that he can catch up with it at this time. The count still remains 0-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Yankees lead at 5-3. They went up high. It was just a little bit too high this time. 1-2.
The only thing you don't want to do in this situation, you don't want to throw him a breaking ball to speed up his bat and let him pull the ball. Try to get him, force him to pull the fastball if you can.
Up high, strike 3. Big strikeout for Rivera.
See, it looks so good, Bobby, up there. It's eye level. Hitter thinks he can hit it, but you just can't catch up to Rivera's high fastball. Remember, we talked about going up the ladder. Well, he does it perfect. Right up out of the strike zone, eye level. You just can't catch up to that 90-plus fastball.
He's about 3 notches behind this one.
Look at the exact great shot from the third base camera. The ball is by him when he's trying to make contact.
Yeah, big strikeout for Rivera. Another tough hitter, though. Elia and Lou talking it over. Paul Sorrento will step in. Runners remain at second and third. They're going to put him on.
Walk. Here's something different. You don't usually walk the winning run. But Torrey says, hey, I got Sorrento and I got Wilson on deck. They don't have any more left-hand hitters on the bench. I'll take my chances. Against the book. I mean, Bobby, right or wrong, who wrote that book?
I don't know, but you got to go with how you feel.
Exactly.
And Piniella checking his roster. Torrey checking his roster. They're going to put Sorrento on. They're going to load the bases up with 1 away, so a ground ball now, they can turn a double play. So there's a force at any base, but you take the chance of putting the go-ahead run on. So it's just one of those managerial decisions that you have to make. You go with the percentages, and Torrey feels like the percentage is in his favor, putting Sorrento on and pitching to the right-handed batter.
The only thing, if I was Lou right now, I might want to put a pinch runner into Sorrento. Not the quickest base runner at first base. If you get a double, he might not be able to score.
Well, Dan Wilson will be the batter, and the bases are full. You see Junior at third, and Martinez down at second, and there is Sorrento with that intentional walk. Wilson, 1 for 3, had a double back in the 6th. And Mariano just keeps going upstairs in the strike zone, and those guys just keep swinging at it.
Again, up out of the strike zone. You got to get the bat ready against Rivera. You know he's throwing hard. You cheat a little bit with your legs and your bat, and it makes you swing at bad pitches.
Yankee bullpen is silent. Another one upstairs. Strike 2, 0-2 on Dan Wilson. Wilson beefed up a bit this winter. He went to the weights and he put on a little bit more muscle. And it certainly has proved to be excellent for him with 9 home runs. And you can see he's just throwing the ball by him.
Right by him.
Just missing outside.
You know, Piniella has a way to get guys to hit home runs. He's always had success teaching guys how to, use their legs and drive balls.
Lou wasn't a big home run hitter, but he certainly knew how to use his legs. Another pitch just missing high and outside. That'll leave the count up at 2-2. The Yankees lead at 5-3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 away. Bases are loaded. And Rivera trying to strike out Dan Wilson. That was fouled out of play.
already tied his career home run mark with 9, and we're only May 25th. Last year he hit 9 home runs for the whole season.
Down low, ball 3-2, bases loaded, 1 away. Big pitch coming up for Rivera. And the sellout crowd on their feet. Popped him up right side. Paul O'Neill. Griffey tagging the throw, and Griffey will be safe. So Griffey just beats the throw from O'Neill. And it's a 5-4 game, 2 away. And Junior just challenged the arm of O'Neill in right field in 1.
Give Wilson some credit. He gets the fly ball deep enough to Paul O'Neill. And you know, on AstroTurf, Bobby, it makes your arm that much better. The ball takes a nice true hop. Junior's got a slide here. If Girardi just catches a piece of his leg, he can really get hurt.
Now, Girardi tried his best to block the plate as best as he could. You can see right there, that is a very dangerous play, and the ball was just a little bit late. So Joey Cora will step in and fouls the first pitch back and out of play. The Yankees still have the lead, though, 5-4. The Mariners now have out-hit the Yanks 9-8.
And we talked about Mariano's streak of 26 1/3 innings without being scored upon.
Another pitch foul back and out of play, 0-2. Well, he can just start another one now.
Start a new one right now. And you know, Joe Torre's thinking why he puts Sorrento on first base. He's looking at Dan Wilson and Joey Cora. That's the 2 hitters he wants Mariano to get out rather than Sorrento and Wilson.
Norm Charlton warming up for the Mariners. A little soft liner right to Derek Jeter, and the Mariners are gone. So Rivera and the Yankees are out of it. We'll go to the top of the 9th inning, and the Yankees leading it here at the Kingdome 5-4. New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. This bunch for you. Buy the new Sunoco MasterCard that can earn you free Sunoco gasoline. Call 1-800-4-SUNOCO to apply. By Toyota, I love what you do for me, Toyota. By McDonald's, the official brake of the Olympic Games. And by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. Top of the 9th inning as Ruben Rivera leads it off for the Yankees. Solomon Torres remains on the mound for the Mariners. Rivera 1 for 2 tonight. He's had a single and a walk. Yankees lead at 5-4 here in the 9th. And it gets exciting. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2. There's 57,173 here at the Kingdome this evening, and most of them are still here. They know that because in the 9th inning, Davis, Darren Bragg, Alex Rodriguez, and possibly Junior getting up in the bottom of the 9th. That fouled off to the left side.
Most likely against John Wetland, will be trying to save the ball game for the story tonight. Mendoza. There's John Wetland. Remember his confrontations against Ken Griffey Jr. last year. Junior won last year, but now it's maybe Wetland's turn.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Up high for a ball 2-2. Ramiro Mendoza, who was called up yesterday to pitch for the Yankees tonight, making his major league debut, only 23 years old. And what a fine performance that young man put in tonight for Joe Torre and the Yanks. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, you got to give a little credit to this young man here, too, because Ricardo, who started for the Mariners, he didn't do so well, and then Torres came in the 4th. The Yankees haven't done much against him.
And he got called up today also, so we're seeing some good pitching from guys that just got off planes.
Maybe that's the answer. Have them fly around a lot. Get them here just in time to pitch. Derek Jeter hits one to the right side. Easy play for Cora. The Yankees have 2 away here in the ninth. Yanks lead at 5-4.
Third baseman Wade Boggs.
There's Wetland. And like Bobby mentioned, Ken Griffey Jr., you know, you look ahead and he's the 4th hitter in the bottom of the ninth for the Mariners.
Wade Boggs steps in, 2 away. Boggsy 0 for 3 officially. Had a sacrifice fly in the second and an RBI.
Bobby, this game's got a little bit of playoff excitement with 57,000 fans. They're all screaming at every pitch.
Hey, you don't forget. People don't forget. Players don't forget. Both the Yankees and the Mariners. Lou Piniella told me that it was, he said, look, I've been through 2 World Series with the Yankees, 3 World Series with the Yankees. He said that was the most exciting moment in my career last year when we were playing the Yankees in that playoff series. Another one hit out into center field. Easy play for Junior. The Yankees are gone 1, 2, 3 here in the ninth. John Wetland, I suspect, will come on to try to save it for the Yankees. He'll be facing Davis, Bragg, and Rodriguez, possibly Junior. Stay with us.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me.
Your turn, man.
When you've got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good.
I think she digs you.
Really?
No. Beyond the sea.
Now for the Jeep game summary. And you see it in the second inning. The Yankees, well, they put 5 on the board, highlighted by that 2-run double by Duncan. Seattle came back with 1 run in the third. And then Griffey with a 2-run single in the 5th inning. Wilson a sacrifice fly in the 8th. And it's the Yankees 5-4. Bottom of the 9th inning, and John Wetland comes on to try to save it.
John Wetland, 8 saves and 10 opportunities. The 19 strikeouts in the 16 innings. Last time he did pitch here in Seattle, he gave up a grand slam home run to Edgar Martinez. Straight away center field. Bernie Williams just runs out of room. So Seattle has not been that friendly to John Wetland. This is a new year, a new time. And you got 9, Russell Davis, Bragg, and Rodriguez. Get the 3 hitters out. You don't have to face Ken Griffey Jr.
We got a pinch hitter for Russ Davis, so Lou goes for experience, Luis Sojo. And I'm sure he's got him in there to try to work a walk out of Wetland. Strike 1 to Sojo. So Luis Sojo pinch hitting now for Russ Davis. The lead off the bottom of the 9th inning. Breaking ball foul back and out of play. Now it's 0-2.
Good sign from Wetland. First pitch strike, went to a breaking ball. Bobby, I know you and I both feel that use that curveball more. Use the curveball, puts that in the hitter's mind, and now it makes his fastball look that much more effective.
Just missing outside. Wetland has his work cut out for him because this Mariner ball club is no pushover anymore. They lead the major leagues in home runs. Joe Torre knows that. And Wetland has pinched only 1 time in the last 11 days. That's a Ryan Duran pitch there. That one had some mustard on it, but he couldn't get Sojo to swing at it.
Almost looked like Girardi was waiting for the curveball to come down. It looks, you know what I mean? It looked like he stayed down, anticipating a breaking ball, and John threw the ball over his head.
He overthrew that one, looked like. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sojo, pinch hitting, leading off here in the 9th. He'll be followed by Darren Bragg and then Alex Rodriguez. Sojo stays alive. And Darren Bragg on deck. Want to keep him off the base paths. He's got a lot of speed.
Good speed, and Wetland's a little slow to the plate.
Plus, if anybody gets on, then that means that Ken Griffey will probably get a shot to hit here in the bottom of the 9th. Popped up in foul territory. Put away by Martinez. 1 away. Darren Bragg will come to the plate.
I think Wetland went back to the breaking ball. Got the leading lady. Get that leading lady. Now somehow keep Bragg off the base paths because he's a threat to steal.
Leading lady?
Leading lady in that bottom of the 10th. Mike.
2 Panamanians.
What a job.
Mendoza, who started the game, and then Rivera came on and pitched a couple of good innings, and now it's up to John Wetland to try to win that debut game for Mendoza. Aaron Bragg takes one outside for a ball.
Martinez guarding the line somewhat at first base. Boggs off the line at third. I'll tell you, Ruben Rivera plays a shallow center field, Bob. He plays pretty shallow in center field. Paul O'Neill very deep in right field. Doesn't want any balls hit over his head. See Rivera, a lot of room behind him.
There's that breaking ball you were talking about. It's a beauty, and it's in there for a called strike. 1-2 now on Bragg. Obviously, when you step to the plate against John Wetland, all you've ever heard about is that fastball, and then when he drops that hook on you, you can't swing it. There comes the fastball. Line down the left field line. It could be trouble, but it's just foul.
That time he got the fastball down. Bragg was able to put the bat on it. Usually we see the high fastball. This is a low fastball. Bragg fights it off. Good time to drop the hook on him right now.
We'll see. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Bottom of the 9th. Yankees lead at 5-4. And he went back to the fastball, this time a little bit high and inside. And Bragg able to fight it off. And Junior is just lurking about and ready if needed here in the 9th inning.
Yeah,
he can't wait to get to the plate, probably.
And if I recall correctly, it was his first game-winning bottom of the 9th home run off of Wetland that he ever hit. Even in Little League and high school and college, they never ended a ball game by hitting a home run. Concentration.
He hit 3 in a row last night. First time in his career. Low and inside, ball 3, 3-2. So Wetland now got a big pitch coming up to Darren Bragg with 1 away in the bottom of the 9th. Boy, that'll get the manager moving on the on the bench. You want to keep Bragg off the base paths.
I tell you, this kid is battling. Susan and I were talking about Bragg, Darren Bragg. You know, he's scrappy. I mean, he gets a lot out of his ability, runs hard, can steal a base. This is a quality at bat he's putting on Wetland.
He came into tonight's game batting .328. 1 for 5 with a run scored and a stolen base. Good outfield. Wetland misses inside, ball 4, and Bragg is on. So the tying run is at first base. Alex Rodriguez will be the batter.
Oh, it's amazing. Late in the ball game, Kushida had been having a nice friendly strike zone. Wetland did not get the benefit of the doubt on the inside pitch. Here you see, now this is the ball that Tushida's been calling pretty much all game, right there. Remember, Mendoza was getting the benefit of the doubt, but not for John Wetland.
And you see Wetland's reaction after the ball 4 was called. I mean, he was not happy, probably with himself, for walking Bragg. Alex Rodriguez, good-looking young player for the Mariners. There goes Bragg, and Girardi's throw will be in time. Tag put on by Jeter. And Bragg is gone.
Bobby, I think
that was Andy Fox, and he dropped the ball.
That's what I think they're saying.
He dropped the ball. He didn't have possession of the ball when he put the tag on Bragg.
Let's watch it again. Girardi does a great job. Just a shift move. Doesn't even really step towards the bag. Does a nice job. he beats the throw all the way, but they were calling him out. Now let's watch the throw again. See, the ball never really has it. The ball's up on the back of Darren Bragg right now, and the umpire's calling him out, John Shulock. The ball right now is underneath Bragg.
So Rodriguez gets a chance with the tying run now in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rodriguez. So that could be a huge break for the Mariners.
And you can't take him for granted at second base either, Bobby. You got to make Bragg stop at second. Don't let him get a walking lead.
That'll come from the middle infielders and also John Wetland. Outside corner this time, 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Ken Griffey Jr. Right now it's Alex Rodriguez.
You know, Wetland, Bobby, to me, looks like he's gone to more of an in-between breaking ball. Remember the good overhand curveball used to feature? Now he's kind of gone in between, made it a little bit shorter, almost looks like a slider.
John Wetland needs about 3 or 4 real good outings to build his confidence back up. Big strikeout there in Rodriguez. Now, what do you do?
Walk him.
Junior coming to the plate. High run is down at second base. But boy, this is a big strikeout.
Big strikeout. Rare's back. Look at the reaction on the bench. Mariano, yeah. I like Mendoza. He's just sitting there. You would never know it's his first ball game. What do you do if you're Torrey? You walk Griffey, pitch to Martinez, or do you take your chances right now?
Well, I can tell you one thing, it's no picnic. Picnic either way. Now Girardi is going to talk it over with Wetland. You see, Junior, the one thing you didn't want to do was to get in a situation where you had to either face Griffey or Martinez with the game on the line. And that's the situation that they're in right now, and Joe Torre will go out and talk it over with Wetland.
I like this, too, because what do you want to do? What are we going to do? All right, let's go. Nothing to think about. That was very quick. That was whatever Joe went out to the mound to say, he said it in a hurry.
Junior 2 for 4 tonight with a couple of RBIs. First base is open. Edgar Martinez on deck. The Yankees lead at 5-4 with 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the breaking ball, Griffey held up, did not go around, so they call the ball.
I tell you, this is, Joe did it in the 8th inning. He intentionally walked the winning run. Put the winning run on base. You see Griffey trying to get it started on the breaking ball. Good job by Girardi. This situation a little different.
One thing about this situation here is that you possibly could get Junior to swing at a bad pitch. It's hard to get Martinez to swing at one.
Oh, my.
He was going for the downs then.
That is fastball down Broadway against a good fastball hitter. Left it on the outside part of the plate, though, Bobby. Did not get it inside where Junior could pull it. Junior may have to just settle for a base hit here.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Now Wetland out in front of Junior. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Game on the line. Yankees lead at 5-4. It has been an exciting game from the very beginning. You look at Mendoza and Rivera looking on. Mendoza, young 23-year-old right-hander, called up out of the minor leagues to start for the Yankees tonight, making his debut. There's the tying run. Darren Bragg down at second.
And with the outfield playing so deep, they're not going to be able to throw Bragg out at the plate on a base hit.
Up high, ball 2, 2-2. Well, it's come down to 1 pitch.
2 outs, you get that extra jump at second base. You're going to score on a base hit anywhere.
Struck him out. Griffey swinging through the fastball, and the Yankees have won it 5-4. And Mendoza wins his Yankee debut here in Seattle. And Wetland, in a very tough situation here in the bottom of the 9th inning, does the job. And there's the youngster,
finally
Ramiro Mendoza.
We finally see a little smile. Junior trying to force it. We talked about the situation. New year for John Wetland. Does not get beat by Ken Griffey Jr. Give Torrey a lot of credit. Stayed with Wetland, didn't walk Junior. Here's the breaking ball. Junior just swings right through it. Good job by Wetland. Really a big game for the Yankees.
I was impressed by quite a few things tonight. Besides Mendoza, Rivera came in, Wetland came in. He did his job, and you see Rivera, he wanted the game for his countryman, Mendoza, and he's the first guy to make the congratulations. A lot of excitement for the Yankees and their youngsters here now with this Yankee ball club. Yankees win it 5-4, and Mendoza wins his first game in his career. That's it from the Kingdome. The final score again is the Yankees beating the Mariners 5-4. Be sure to join us for our next Yankee telecast Friday, June the 7th, as the Yankees face the Tigers. Now stay tuned for the Honeymooners. For Rick Cerone, Suzyn Waldman, Cooney, Leon Swire, I'm Bobby Murcer. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in June.